Chapter 286. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang finally heaved a sigh of relief, because during the battle, he was running away. It was not an exaggeration to say that he was passively taking a beating. He did not dare to take the Nanhua old deity's attack head-on. The main reason was that the attack was too powerful. It was numbing. Wang Mang even felt that even with his huge body, he might not be able to take a few hits from the old deity. The Nanhua old deity had blasted the mountains that were hundreds of meters high into ashes with a single finger. To be honest, even if Wang Mang used all his strength, he might not be able to sit on it. Even if he used all his strength, he might not be able to do the same thing. The problem was that the Nanhua old deity could easily use these attacks. Wang Mang could not imagine how terrifying the old deity's attacks would be if he used all his strength. Fortunately, he had finally completed his mission. I don't need to be on tenterhooks anymore. Thinking of this, Wang Mang let out a sigh of relief. At this moment, the Nanhua old deity was charging at him again. Wang Mang sneered and said, "If you have the ability, then try to chase after me." As soon as he finished his words, Wang Mang started flying at full speed. His speed instantly increased to 1,000 kilometers per hour. But to Wang Mang's surprise, the Nanhua old deity's speed also increased rapidly. In just a few moments, the Nanhua old deity had caught up. Not only that, the Nanhua old deity sneered at him. "Don't you think it's too late to run now?" Hearing this, Wang Mang immediately sneered inwardly and continued to mock. "I'm so scared. Come and kill me." The Nanhua old deity was enraged by Wang Mang's provocation. He did not expect that Wang Mang would still dare to provoke him when he was about to die. The Nanhua old deity was about to increase his speed. But in the next moment, something that shocked him happened. He saw that Wang Mang, who was originally very close to him, suddenly burst out with a terrifying speed that he had never seen before. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared from his sight. After Wang Mang completely disappeared from his sight, the Nanhua old immortal finally came back to his senses. His expression was extremely ugly. His face twisted ferociously as he roared angrily. "Damn it! Damn it! How can this vile spawn be so fast? Even the Dog Emperor doesn't have this kind of speed. Could it be that this evil creature has a speed-type god art?" Unfortunately, no matter how much the Nanhua old immortal roared, no one responded to him. The Nanhua old deity stayed for a while in anger and helplessness. In the end, the CIA reluctantly left. At the same time, on the other side, Wang Mang didn't know where he had run off to. After using his divine ability, he flew at full speed for a full hour. In the end, Wang Mang finally stopped in this mountain range that was covered in verdant forests. At the same time, Wang Mang finally realized how terrifying his own speed was. When he reached 50,000 kilometers per hour, he even felt that his body was under great pressure. All in all, when he used his divine ability to fly at 50,000 kilometers per hour, his huge body felt extremely uncomfortable. Other than that, Wang Mang didn't find anything else that he couldn't adapt to. But this also told Wang Mang one thing. When his speed reached a certain level, that was, his body had to be strong enough. 50,000 kilometers per hour. To be honest, Wang Mang already felt that it was unbearable. If he went faster, Wang Mang definitely wouldn't be able to withstand it. As for where he was, Wang Mang didn't know either. But what surprised him was that the spirit chi and demonic chi around him were very dense. However, Wang Mang didn't feel the presence of a demonic emperor. Just as Wang Mang was about to take out the map to look around, suddenly, Wang Mang felt that a few streams of dense demonic chi were approaching him. Soon, Wang Mang saw more than 10 white pythons with strong demonic chi appear in his field of vision. These white pythons were not small in size. They were dozens of meters long. The 3 leading pythons were even 70 or 80 meters long. Moreover, judging from the demonic chi of these 3 white pythons, Wang Mang guessed that they should be at the Demon King level. At the same time, when these white pythons saw Wang Mang, they were all secretly shocked. That was because the monstrous aura around Wang Mang was too strong. It even gave them a great sense of oppression. They couldn't help but want to kneel down and surrender under Wang Mang's demonic chi. This was obviously the huge gap between a demon emperor and a demon king. His aura alone was enough to intimidate the White Python Demon Clan. At the same time, Wang Mang was also looking at these white python demons curiously. Back then, he had encountered a white python in his family's reservoir. Wang Mang still remembered this white python demon. It seemed to be called by Shui Jun. At this time, one of the white python demons, who was at the Grand Demon King level, stepped forward cautiously and asked Wang Mang, "What can I do for you, Demon Emperor?" Hearing this, Wang Mang glanced at this white python demon. Judging from its old voice, it should be a male snake. At this time, Wang Mang asked in a superior tone, "Which province are you in?" Ben Huang hasn't been here before. In response to Wang Mang's inquiry, the white python demon replied respectfully, "Demon Emperor, this is Nanyuan Province, Bana Banshuangxi, a tropical rainforest mountain range. We, the White Python Demon Clan, have been living in this mountain range for tens of thousands of years." After hearing this, Wang Mang suddenly understood. He didn't expect that he didn't run far after running around blindly. Maybe it was one of the reasons why he kept changing directions. After hesitating for a while, Wang Mang suddenly thought of something. He spoke again indifferently. "Is there anyone called by Shui Jun in your White Python Demon Clan?" After hearing Wang Mang's question, the White Python Demon King was stunned and asked cautiously, "Demon Emperor, do you have a grudge against Bai Shui Jun?" Hearing this White Python Demon King's answer, Wang Mang knew that this guy must know Bai Shui Jun. Thinking of this, Wang Mang scolded in a superior manner. "Ben Huang asked you. You should answer honestly. Remember, this emperor is the one asking you. You didn't ask Ben Huang." At this time, a cold voice rang out. "Lord Demon Emperor, this little demon is Lord Whitewater." Hearing this somewhat familiar voice, Lin Fan nodded. Wang Mang was stunned at first and subconsciously looked sideways. He saw a white python that was more than 60 meters long and had the strength of a demon king. It slowly twisted its body and walked out from the group of pythons. Wang Mang couldn't distinguish Bai Shui Jun from Bai Shui Jun in terms of size. However, Wang Mang still had some impression of Bai Shui Jun's familiar voice. Therefore, Wang Mang was almost certain that the white python demon king in front of him was Bai Shui Jun, because its voice was as cold as ever, and its attitude was also cold. But this kind of attitude and tone, but also made Wang Mang very unhappy. "F***CK. I'm a demon emperor. How dare you talk to me in such a tone? You're simply not putting me in your eyes." Chapter 287. However, from Wang Mang's point of view, Lord Whitewater definitely didn't recognize him. Otherwise, he wouldn't call him Demon Emperor. In this case, Lord Whitewater called him Demon Emperor. Instead, it was because he didn't recognize his identity. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel a little conflicted. Should he reveal his identity? Or should he reveal his identity? After hesitating for a while, in the end, Wang Mang gave up on this idea. He couldn't pretend just for the sake of showing off. If so, it wouldn't feel good at all. On the contrary, it completely gave people a feeling of being deliberate. Thinking of this, Wang Mang glanced at Lord Whitewater and deliberately said, "You seem to be very dissatisfied with Ben Huang. How dare you speak to Ben Huang in such a tone?" Hearing Wang Mang's words, the leading Great Demon King White Python was shocked. He hurriedly began to look at Lord Whitewater, afraid that Lord Whitewater would offend a demon emperor. After all, to the White Python Demon Clan, offending a demon king was simply a disaster for them, because, in the Red Empire, the number of demon emperors was very small. However, the difference between a demon emperor and a great demon king was like heaven and earth. Even if their White Python Demon Clan had several great demon kings, they were definitely not a match for a demon emperor. Thankfully, what made White Python heave a sigh of relief was that Lord Whitewater had clearly seen the look in his eyes. Then, Lord Whitewater's cold tone softened slightly. "I don't dare. I have always been cold. I'm not against Demon Emperor." Seeing that Lord Whitewater actually gave in to him, Wang Mang felt a lot better. To be honest, If it weren't for Wang Mang's magnanimity, he would have killed Lord Whitewater long ago. After all, when Lord Whitewater left his reservoir, he deliberately took revenge on him and killed one of his subordinates. Wang Mang still remembered this matter clearly. If it weren't for his and Dark Light's subordinate senses, Wang Mang would probably avenge his dead subordinates. At this time, Wang Mang suddenly thought of something and couldn't help but ask, "What treasures do you have here? Is there anything you want to give to Ben Huang? Ben Huang is passing by this place. You little demons won't let Ben Huang return empty-handed, right?" All right, these words. In fact, he was deliberately making things difficult for them. As expected, after hearing Wang Mang's words, the members of the White Python Demon Clan present, they all looked at each other in dismay and fell into a dilemma. They didn't know what Wang Mang meant. Was it asking them for filial piety, or did it have other intentions? But no matter what he meant, Wang Mang's words had indeed put them in a difficult position. Just as Wang Mang was feeling smug, Lord Whitewater's cold voice rang out. Reporting to the Demon Emperor, this little demon knows of a place with heavenly treasures. Hearing this, Wang Mang glanced at Lord Whitewater in surprise and said proudly, "Tell me, Ben Huang doesn't care about ordinary heavenly treasures." At this time, the leading great demon king of the White Python Demon Clan also scolded, "Lord Whitewater, don't talk nonsense. How can the Demon Emperor care about the heavenly treasures you mentioned? The heavenly treasures in your eyes are not worth mentioning at all in the eyes of the Demon Emperor." Hearing this, Wang Mang proudly raised his huge snake head and looked at the great demon king of the White Python Demon Clan with satisfaction. Sure enough, this great demon king still knew some things. He should know that the Demon Emperor usually didn't care about ordinary heavenly treasures. Therefore, after seeing that Lord Whitewater had nothing to say, Wang Mang was too lazy to be long-winded. He was going to wander around and return to his nest. In Wang Mang's opinion, the Nanhua Elder Immortal had probably left since he didn't catch up with him. But at this time, Lord Whitewater's cold voice rang out again. Were the heavenly treasures close to the immortal level? Maybe even the immortal level heavenly treasures? Hearing this, Wang Mang suddenly turned his head and looked at Lord Whitewater. His deep snake eyes coldly stared at her. Seeing that Lord Whitewater didn't panic in the slightest under his fierce gaze, Wang Mang was puzzled. Could it be that Lord Whitewater was telling the truth? Did she really know that there were heavenly treasures close to the immortal level? As for heavenly treasures that were already at the immortal level, Wang Mang felt that it was completely impossible, because once they reached the immortal level, these heavenly treasures could be directly transformed into Earth Immortals. At that time, Wang Mang wouldn't be the only one. Even if they were Earth Immortals, they might not be able to deal with these immortal level heavenly treasures, because heavenly treasures that reached the immortal level were no longer heavenly treasures. They could also transform into Earth Immortals and were extremely difficult to deal with. If he had to choose, Wang Mang would rather have a heavenly treasure that was close to the immortal level than 10 immortal level heavenly treasures. Because even if he was given an immortal level heavenly treasure, he might not be able to defeat it. However, if it was a heavenly treasure that was close to the immortal level, then Wang Mang's interest would be great. Now that he had a heavenly treasure that was close to the immortal level, he could easily evolve again. Because of this, if it was a heavenly treasure that was close to the immortal level, it would be extremely attractive to Wang Mang. Once he obtained a heavenly treasure that was close to the immortal level, it meant that he could evolve once. Thinking of this, Wang Mang pondered for a moment. Looking at Lord Whitewater, he asked coldly, "Are you sure? If you dare to tease Ben Huang will let you know the consequences of angering Ben Huang." Facing Wang Mang's cold and dignified words, Lord Whitewater's tone was still cold and firm. "I will not lie to the Demon King. But Sir Demon King, if you want to know about this Emperor-level heavenly treasure, you have to agree to one of my conditions. Otherwise, I will never say it." Hearing this, Wang Mang was speechless. He didn't expect Lord Whitewater to start talking about conditions for him. However, He wanted to see what kind of conditions Lord Whitewater wanted to propose. Thinking of this, Wang Mang asked in a dignified tone, "Say it. What conditions do you want?" At this time, Lord Whitewater said a condition that made him extremely shocked. "Sir Demon King, if you want to know the whereabouts of this heavenly treasure that is close to the immortal level. Sir Demon King, you need to help me go to the neighboring Chuangue province to kill a black python demon." Hearing this, Wang Mang was stunned. Why did he feel that Lord Whitewater was talking about him? Chapter 288. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was a little puzzled and prepared to continue listening. At this time, Lord Whitewater's next sentence made Wang Mang even more confused. Lord Whitewater's tone was still cold. "This black python demon is in a reservoir surrounded by mountains, and its strength is not weak. If Lord Demon Emperor is willing to help this little demon kill it, I will tell the Demon King the whereabouts of this immortal level treasure of heaven and earth." After listening to Lord Whitewater's words, Wang Mang was speechless. Wang Mang did not expect that Lord Whitewater was still thinking about him. How much does he hate me? He can't wait to kill me? Oh my God, how much hatred does he have? To be honest, Wang Mang himself felt that he would not care about Lord Whitewater. But he never thought that even if he did not care, Lord Whitewater was still thinking about him. Now he even put forward a condition to him, asking him to help kill him, and then he told him the whereabouts of this immortal level treasure of heaven and earth. This simply made Wang Mang have a feeling of not knowing whether to laugh or cry. He did not know whether to rejoice or laugh bitterly. If he revealed his identity, Lord Whitewater would never tell him about this immortal level treasure of heaven and earth, right? This was also the reason why Wang Mang did not know whether to laugh or cry. Of course, since Lord Whitewater did not discover his identity, then Wang Mang naturally would not be exposed. Moreover, since Lord Whitewater knew the whereabouts of this immortal level treasure of heaven and earth, Wang Mang naturally had to think of a way. From the other party's mouth, the whereabouts of this immortal level treasure of heaven and earth will be discussed. Thinking of this, Wang Mang suddenly said with a dignified face, "What kind of person do you think Ben Huang is? Are you an ant that can come and go at any time? Ben Huang advises you to tell Ben Huang immediately. Otherwise, don't blame Ben Huang for destroying your white python demon clan." Hearing Wang Mang's murderous words, the great demon king of the white python demon clan was suddenly so scared that his body was trembling. Truth be told, when Wang Mang said those words, he was stunned. The members of the white python demon clan present all panicked. Even many members of the white python demon clan looked at Lord Whitewater angrily. In their view, Lord Whitewater was looking for trouble and originally wanted to send Wang Mang away. But the result, Lord Whitewater had to speak, and he even asked for this immortal level treasure of heaven and earth. Now, not only did they attract the attention of this unfamiliar demon emperor, they might even bring disaster to their clan. This was the reason why the members of the white python demon clan were so. Similarly, in the face of Wang Mang's ice-cold threat, Lord Whitewater was also somewhat flustered. She did not expect Wang Mang's to Mang. However, she really couldn't understand. Wang Mang had clearly been sent to kill a monster. Logically speaking, this demon king would be completely jealous if he got the news of a treasure of heaven and earth that was close to immortal level. But Wang Mang's answer was indeed beyond her expectations. In fact, what she did not know was that if Lord Whitewater asked him to kill another demon, Wang Mang would definitely agree without hesitation. But Wang Mang could not kill himself. In fact, if Lord Whitewater said this to other demon kings, she would definitely not guess wrong. The problem was that Lord Whitewater did not know Wang Mang's identity at all. Therefore, in the face of Wang Mang's threat, Lord Whitewater calmed down from the initial panic. She said helplessly in a sullen tone, "Demon King, please give me some benefits." And after that, he promised to help me kill that black python. Hearing Lord Whitewater's words, Wang Mang was secretly proud. Of course, on the surface, Wang Mang said calmly, "Tell me first, what benefits do you want?" Hearing this, Lord Whitewater immediately said without hesitation, Demon King wants to give me half of all the benefits. Hearing Lord Whitewater's words, Wang Mang could not help but laugh in his heart. Although Lord Whitewater was indeed greedy, but her confidence was not as strong as Big Bear Demon King. Because if Wang Mang didn't know where the Whitewater Lord's demon clan was, then he wouldn't be able to escape. In that case, Lord Whitewater could still threaten Wang Mang like the Black Bear Demon King. But now, this was completely impossible. It could be said that Wang Mang had completely defeated him. Therefore, Wang Mang said coldly without any trace of politeness, Give you half. Are you dreaming? I can give you a king-level treasure of heaven and earth as a reward. Tell me obediently. Otherwise, don't blame Ben Huang for killing. Hearing Wang Mang's naked threat, Lord Whitewater was obviously enraged. Because Wang Mang threatened her again and again, it simply made her feel unprecedentedly aggrieved. Therefore, Lord Whitewater's tone was cold. I'm sorry to disappoint the Demon King. Even if I die, I won't speak. Hearing Lord Whitewater's resolute words, Wang Mang was suddenly amused. However, Wang Mang had already defeated her. However, this time Wang Mang did not choose to threaten Lord Whitewater. Instead, he targeted the White Python Demon Clan. For a moment, Wang Mang looked at the White Python Demon Clan coldly and smiled coldly. It seems that you White Python Demon Clan are very tough. Think about it carefully. Ben Wang doesn't want to kill today. You can communicate with this little demon yourself. Hearing this, the leader of the White Python Demon Clan, the Great Demon King, said in fear, Demon King, please give me some time. After that, together with the White Python Demon Clan, he called Lord Whitewater to the forest not far away and lectured. Even if Wang Mang did not listen carefully, he could vaguely hear a group of White Python Demon Clan members accusing Lord Whitewater. Lord Whitewater, you are the royal family of our White Python Demon Clan, but you have always made us White Python Demon Clan pay for you. And you have always brought disaster to our White Python Demon Clan. The White Python Demon Clan did not get back the investment in you at all. Yes, Lord Whitewater, do you still want to cause our White Python Demon Clan to be exterminated? Lord Whitewater, how much has the clan paid for you over the years? What have you brought to the White Python Demon Clan? You've brought me endless trouble. After hearing these words, Wang Mang could not help but want to laugh. Sure enough, the White Python Demon Clan was Lord Whitewater's weakness. Just when Wang Mang was feeling proud, the system's voice sounded frowny-facing, detected the host's current situation. The host is given the following mission to choose from. Mission number 1. In the face of a treasure close to the immortal level, do not move, I do not care. Mission time, available upon selection. Mission reward, 500 million evolution points. Advanced blind box, X1. Mission number 2. In the face of a treasure close to the immortal level, to be safe, appropriate profits. Mission time, available upon completion. Mission reward, 1 billion evolution points. Advanced blind box, X1. Mission number 3. In the face of a treasure close to the immortal level, do not yield, must occupy. Mission time, available upon completion. Mission reward, 5 billion evolution points. Best blind box, X1. Chapter 289. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang couldn't help but laugh in his heart. This mission was clearly to let him monopolize the benefits. After all, among the 3 missions, the first and the second mission did not have a big difference in rewards. But the third mission's reward was the most generous. And Wang Mang had such a condition to complete it. Therefore, as long as Wang Mang was not stupid, he knew how to choose the mission. Because of this, Wang Mang only thought for a moment. He said in his heart, without hesitation, System, I choose the third mission. The next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded frowny-facing. The host has successfully chosen the mission. Please complete the mission as soon as possible to get the reward. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang nodded with satisfaction. After that, Wang Mang turned his gaze to the forest not far away. At the same time, at this moment in the jungle, facing the accusations of the members of the demon clan, Lord Whitewater was silent. She did not bring any good returns to the White Python demon clan. Even the clan had put in a lot of effort for her. Thinking of this, Lord Whitewater was also a little silent, and she felt even more guilty. But what made her feel wronged was that the members of the White Python demon clan had misunderstood her this time. This time, she had planned to use this news to exchange for some benefits and leverage from the hands of this demon king. However, these members of the White Python demon clan were all frightened by Wang Mang's deterrence. At this time, the leader of the White Python demon king said, "Lord Whitewater, I won't say anything about you. You'd better tell the demon king the news that he wants to know, so as not to anger the demon king, and then it will really bring disaster to our White Python demon clan. Yes, Lord Whitewater, although you are the royal family of the clan, but you can't ignore the life and death of the whole clan, right?" In the face of the dissuasion of the demon clan, in the end, Lord Whitewater had no choice but to compromise. Her tone was cold and a little lonely. "Okay, I know. Everyone can rest assured that I, Whitewater Lord, will not implicate the White Python demon clan." Upon seeing Lord Whitewater compromise, the leader, Greater Demon Monarch White Python, nodded in satisfaction. In this way, this demon king will also remember the good of our White Python demon clan. Our White Python demon clan can also take advantage of the situation to seek refuge with Lord Demon Emperor and become a subordinate royal clan of Lord Demon Emperor. Although Lord Whitewater was unwilling, he couldn't disobey Greater Demon Monarch White Python. Helpless, Lord Whitewater compromised and hurried towards Wang Mang's location. At the same time, Wang Mang, who had long noticed Lord Whitewater, had been waiting for a long time. Especially when he saw Whitewater Lord's dispirited appearance, Wang Mang proudly raised his huge snake head. As if he had won a battle, he asked in a lofty tone, "How is it? Have you thought it through? Or do you need Ben Huang to give you more time to think about it?" In the face of Wang Mang's lofty tone, Lord Whitewater was very angry, but he said calmly, "No need. I can now tell Lord Demon Emperor the location of the immortal level treasure of heaven and earth." Hearing this, Wang Mang interrupted, "You don't have to tell Ben Huang. Just go with Ben Huang. If Ben Huang finds out that you lied to me, Ben Huang will not let you go." After hearing Wang Mang's words, Lord Whitewater was stunned. She originally thought that it would be fine if she told him the location of the immortal level treasure of heaven and earth. But she never expected that Wang Mang would want her to bring him there personally. Thinking of this, Lord Whitewater was even angrier. She didn't get any benefits, but she still had to make a trip. At this time, Wang Mang also realized that it seemed that she didn't get any benefits. Thinking of this, Wang Mang pretended to be generous and said, "Don't worry and lead the way. If the harvest is good, Ben Huang will reward you handsomely. At that time, I will casually reward you with a few king-level treasures of heaven and earth, and your strength can also be improved a lot." After hearing Wang Mang's words, Lord Whitewater felt much better. Therefore, although she was very reluctant, she still said in a gloomy tone, "Lord Demon Emperor, follow me." As soon as the voice fell, Lord Whitewater flew towards the distance very reluctantly. Seeing this, Wang Mang also followed. Of course, Wang Mang also remembered this place, because as long as he remembered the place where the White Python Demon Clan was, Wang Mang was not worried that Lord Whitewater would play tricks at all. After all, the monk can run away, but the temple can't. Originally, if there was no such thing, Wang Mang would probably still be hiding somewhere to improve his strength and open the blind treasure chest. However, now that there was a chance to get the immortal level treasure of heaven and earth, of course, Wang Mang knew how to distinguish the importance of the matter and the order of the order. His blind box could be opened at any time, but the immortal level treasure of heaven and earth could only be found by chance. This was not easy to encounter. If Wang Mang did not seize the opportunity, he would feel sorry for his conscience. But what Wang Mang never expected was The place Lord Whitewater took him to was Mount Tai. According to Lord Whitewater, she had found many treasures of heaven and earth in Mount Tai. In this regard, Wang Mang was skeptical. In other words, many of the treasures of heaven and earth mentioned by Lord Whitewater were only ordinary king level, or emperor level. But in Wang Mang's view, it should be absolutely impossible to have too many treasures of heaven and earth close to the immortal level. After all, treasures of heaven and earth close to the immortal level were really too rare. In addition, it had to be mentioned, Wang Mang also studied Mount Tai. Mount Tai, known as the head of the 5 mountains, it had the title of the first mountain in the world. This mountain also had a scenic area for sightseeing. But although Wang Mang had some understanding, he did not know much about Mount Tai. As for whether there were really many treasures of heaven and earth, Wang Mang also went with a curious and expectant attitude. 2 days later, Lord Whitewater took Wang Mang across 4 provinces. Finally, they arrived at Dongshan Province, where Mount Tai was located. Well, in fact, if Wang Mang flew at full speed, it would not take an hour. But Lord Whitewater's speed was too slow, so Wang Mang could only follow behind slowly. When they arrived at the mountains near Mount Tai, Wang Mang found it. In the past, Mount Tai was bustling and prosperous. Now no one came to travel. In fact, Wang Mang was not surprised at all. What time was it? The whole world was in chaos. Who had the time to travel? But when Wang Mang came near the mountains of Mount Tai, he immediately discovered the difference in the search for production. That was, the spiritual qi of Mount Tai was too abundant, compared to any place Wang Mang had ever seen. Only Sirav Nation's pool of opportunity could be found. Only then could it be comparable to the spiritual qi of Mount Tai. At this moment, Wang Mang saw that on the peak of Mount Tai towering into the clouds. At this moment, it was already covered with dark clouds. The dark clouds seemed to cover the sun and the moon in the sky. Even Wang Mang could see clearly. At this moment on Mount Tai, dark clouds converged from all directions. It was condensing an unprecedented horror spectacle. Such a rare and terrifying spectacle. Even Wang Mang could not help but be shocked. Chapter 290. Because he could feel it in the dark clouds that covered the sky for hundreds of miles above his head. Now, a terrifying lightning tribulation was slowly condensing. But what made Wang Mang very puzzled was that he didn't feel the aura of the demon emperor. He didn't feel a strong demonic aura either. It couldn't be that the spectacle in front of him was a great demon king's tribulation, right? This was completely impossible. It was impossible for a great demon king to have such a scene, not to mention a great demon king, even if it was a scene of a demon emperor's tribulation. Compared to the terrifying spectacle in front of him, it wasn't even worthy of carrying his shoes. It could even be said that it wasn't as good as what was in front of him. This spectacle was 1% of the terrifying scene. Therefore, Wang Mang also wanted to know, what the hell is going on? Such a huge dark cloud. If this lightning tribulation was condensed, how terrifying would it be? Perhaps even within hundreds of miles, it would be blasted into ruins. It could be said that from the scale of the gathering of dark clouds, this was 100 times more terrifying than when he had been punished by the heavens. At this moment, Wang Mang suddenly had a terrifying guess. Even thinking about it, Wang Mang couldn't help but shiver. Could it be that there was a heavenly treasure close to the immortal level? It was going against the heavens and wanted to become a land immortal. But thinking of this, Wang Mang felt that it wouldn't work. If a heavenly treasure close to the immortal level turned into a land immortal, there was no need to transcend the tribulation. Then how did the lightning tribulation form? This matter doesn't make any sense at all. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt even more puzzled. As for the matter that even Wang Mang felt puzzled, then Lord Whitewater, who was at the side, didn't know either. Right at that moment, Wang Mang saw an enormous blooming azure lotus that was unceasingly spiraling in the air. Not only that, the dark clouds that gathered in the surroundings were surging with endless lightning power. He saw that the huge, blooming green lotus was quickly drowned by the terrifying lightning power. Moreover, it was a shocking scene. It was even more exaggerated than when Wang Mang enjoyed the Sea of Lightning. Just the power and aura of the lightning alone were many times stronger. At the same time, Wang Mang also stealthily activated information detection. In the next moment, the information of this huge, blooming green lotus appeared before his eyes. Target: flourishing lotus. Cultivation experience: 899,900 years. Grade: pseudo-immortal. After reading the information of this green lotus, Wang Mang was completely dumbfounded. He didn't expect that the cultivation of this green lotus had already reached 899,900 years. In other words, it was only 10 years away from becoming an Earth immortal. But why did he have to undergo the tribulation in advance when he was clearly 10 years away? Thinking up to this point, Wang Mang was silent for a moment before he suddenly thought of something. He felt that it was very likely that the world was about to undergo a great change. They couldn't afford to wait for these heavenly materials and earthly treasures that were close to the immortal grade. Thinking up to this point, Wang Mang felt that things were more or less as he had guessed. After all, once one's cultivation reached 9,000 years, these heavenly treasures would no longer need to undergo tribulation. However, before they reached this level, they were already trying to break through to the land immortal realm. In that case, it wasn't strange for them to encounter the lightning tribulation. This was also Wang Mang's conjecture, the most likely explanation for this. However, what Wang Mang didn't know was that the truth was similar to what he had guessed. At this moment, Lord Whitewater suddenly said in a cold voice, "Lord Demon Emperor, this green lotus is one of the few heavenly materials and earthly treasures that are close to the immortal grade that I mentioned back then." Hearing this, Wang Mang couldn't help but be secretly shocked. Listening to Lord Whitewater's words, it didn't seem like he was lying. Could it be that Mount Tai was really hiding several heavenly materials and earthly treasures that were close to the immortal grade? After thinking about it, Wang Mang felt that it was really possible. However, the current Wang Mang didn't have the chance to verify this question. Right now, Wang Mang was watching eagerly. In the distance, the flourishing green lotus was amidst the lightning tribulation. To be honest, right now, Wang Mang was in a dilemma. He hoped that this fellow would fail the tribulation. He was also afraid that this flourishing green lotus would fail the tribulation, because the reason why he hoped that the flourishing green lotus would fail the tribulation was very simple. Once the flourishing green lotus succeeded in transcending the tribulation, it would directly become a land immortal. It wasn't something that Wang Mang could think about at all. Therefore, Wang Mang naturally hoped that the flourishing green lotus would fail. However, Wang Mang was also very conflicted. He was also afraid that the flourishing green lotus would fail. He was deeply afraid that after the flourishing green lotus failed the tribulation, it would be blasted into nothingness. At that time, wouldn't he have to watch helplessly as a pseudo-immortal grade, heavenly materials, and earthly treasures were wasted just like that? Therefore, at this moment, Wang Mang's mood was really conflicted. Moreover, this kind of conflict was not something that ordinary people could understand. Sigh, I hope this flourishing green lotus fails the tribulation, but don't fail completely. At least don't be blasted into nothingness. As Wang Mang prayed, this terrifying lightning tribulation continued. However, Wang Mang felt that this flourishing green lotus was a bit unreliable. Why did he say that? Because this lightning tribulation showed no signs of stopping. Moreover, this lightning tribulation was still gathering in large amounts. In the distant sky, the dark clouds in all directions also gathered towards this place. Consciousness and self-construction. Even the sky was pouring with rain. The place where the flourishing white lotus was enveloped. It was like a sea of lightning. Thunder and lightning intertwined without stopping at all. It was like muffled rolling thunder. It never stopped ringing in his ears. In the blink of an eye, 3 days had passed. This terrifying lightning tribulation still did not disappear. Similarly, the green lotus, which was originally unyielding amidst the lightning, also seemed to have lost its spirit. Obviously, Under the long and terrifying lightning tribulation, this flourishing green lotus had failed to pass the tribulation. This meant that this flourishing green lotus was still unable to transform into a land immortal. Right at this moment, suddenly, Wang Mang saw that in the sea of lightning, the flourishing green lotus rushed out of the sea of lightning and fled into the distance. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang quickly reacted. Without saying a word, he chased after it without hesitation. No matter what kind of ability this heaven and earth treasure that was extremely close to immortal level had. However, as long as he did not successfully pass the tribulation, he would still not be able to escape Wang Mang's claws. After all, Wang Mang had been squatting on this flourishing green lotus for a few days. Now, the heavens finally did not disappoint those who were willing. Finally, the opportunity he had been waiting for had arrived. Moreover, this flourishing green lotus was not destroyed by the lightning tribulation. Therefore, right now was the chance for Wang Mang to obtain this flourishing green lotus, especially when he thought about this flourishing green lotus, which was only 10 years away from becoming a land immortal. There is no need to mention how excited Wang Mang was. He really could not imagine how many evolution points he could obtain if he swallowed this flourishing green lotus. Chapter 291. Wang Mang estimated conservatively that it was definitely enough for 1 free evolution. It might even be close to 2 free evolutions. After all, Wang Mang had never eaten such a pseudo-immortal level treasure before. As for whether it could evolve twice, Wang Mang felt that it should be a little mysterious. Of course, the premise of all this was that Wang Mang could capture this flourishing green lotus. Seeing the direction in which the flourishing green lotus escaped, Wang Mang also shot out his speed as fast as lightning. He didn't even pay attention to Lord Whitewater. That was because the speed at which the flourishing green lotus fled was simply too fast. If Wang Mang had chased after him a bit later, he might have even missed him. He might really let the flourishing green lotus escape. Seeing Wang Mang directly shoot out, chasing after the flourishing green lotus, and disappearing into the distant sky, Lord Whitewater hesitated for a moment, but in the end, she didn't choose to follow. That was because Wang Mang might not share any of the benefits he obtained with her. Then what was the use of her chasing after him? Moreover, Wang Mang's speed was simply too fast. It was so fast that Lord Whitewater was shocked. At the same time, Lord Whitewater finally knew. How big was the gap between a demon king and a demon emperor? It was not an exaggeration to say that the gap was like heaven and earth. There might be a gap between a demon king and a grand demon king, but it was definitely not as big as the gap between a demon emperor and a demon emperor. At this moment, Lord Whitewater knew why the White Python clan's great elder was so respectful to Wang Mang. This kind of strength was not something that a grand demon king could contend with. Just in terms of speed, he could completely crush a grand demon king. More importantly, Wang Mang didn't expose himself at all on the way here. If it wasn't for the fact that she was chasing after the heaven and earth treasure now, she probably still didn't know Wang Mang's strength. At the same time, 10,000 meters high in the sky, Wang Mang was flying at top speed. Not far in front of Wang Mang, the flourishing green lotus was also crazily fleeing. From the moment Wang Mang chased after him, actually, Shengshi Qinglian had already discovered Wang Mang. Moreover, it could feel that Wang Mang had ill intentions towards it. It was precisely because of this that the flourishing age green lotus began to flee the moment it failed the tribulation. However, Wang Mang's speed was simply too fast. Even though it was a pseudo-immortal grade heavenly treasure, it still felt its scalp go numb in the face of Wang Mang's speed. More importantly, it had never heard of Wang Mang, a demon emperor. Therefore, facing Wang Mang's pursuit, Shengshi Qinglian couldn't help but panic. Fellow Taoist, why do you have to force me? Let me go. When I become a land immortal, I will definitely repay you well. Hearing Shengshi Qinglian's pleas for mercy, Wang Mang completely ignored it. So much so that Wang Mang didn't even need to mention how speechless he was. F*CK, if I let you go, what am I going to eat to evolve? Moreover, this heavenly treasure was the one with the highest cultivation that Wang Mang had ever encountered. Therefore, Wang Mang was unwilling to let it go no matter what. If he couldn't catch up to this heavenly treasure, Wang Mang would accept it. But now with Wang Mang's speed, among the demon emperors, it seemed that he could no longer find a match. Therefore, Wang Mang was simply too arrogant. In fact, he was confident that even an Earth immortal would find it difficult to catch up to him. It was precisely because of this confidence that Wang Mang was in high spirits. At the same time, he sneered and replied, "Are you daydreaming? Do you think Ben Huang needs you to report to me? If you really want to repay Ben Huang, then obediently enter Ben Huang's stomach." Hearing Wang Mang's shameless words, Shengshi Qinglian was very angry. He had never seen such a demon before. He was clearly about to reach the Earth immortal level. If it was an ordinary demon emperor, he would definitely choose to give him face and form a good relationship with him. However, Wang Mang didn't play by the rules at all. He just wanted to eat him. Therefore, for a moment, Shengshi Qinglian was really helpless against Wang Mang. Especially when he saw that Wang Mang was about to catch up, he couldn't help but feel terrified, because he was really unwilling to accept this. He was only 10 years away from becoming an Earth immortal. Just as Shengshi Qinglian was feeling extremely desperate, Wang Mang's voice came from behind him again. "Fellow Taoist, if you want to live, you can provide Ben Huang with the whereabouts of other heavenly treasures that are close to the immortal level. If Ben Huang obtains the whereabouts of other heavenly treasures that are close to the immortal level, Ben Huang might let you go. Of course, the premise is that you can really help Ben Huang obtain a few more heavenly treasures that are close to the immortal level." Hearing Wang Mang's words, Shengshi Qinglian, who was on the verge of despair, seemed to have grasped a glimmer of hope. He asked excitedly, "Fellow Taoist, are you serious? If I provide you with other heavenly treasures that are close to the immortal level, will you be willing to let me go?" Hearing Shengshi Qinglian's words, Wang Mang was secretly overjoyed. From his tone, he knew that Shengshi Qinglian definitely knew about other heavenly treasures that were close to the immortal level. With that thought, Wang Mang immediately promised, "Fellow Taoist, don't worry. Ben Huang has an extremely good reputation among the demon clans. He has always kept his word. If you can assist Ben Huang in obtaining at least 2 heavenly treasures that are close to the immortal level, Ben Huang will definitely let you go." After hearing Wang Mang's words, Shengshi Qinglian, who was still running away, immediately stopped. Seeing this, Wang Mang immediately slowed down and came to Shengshi Qinglian. Because since Shengshi Qinglian had already stopped, Wang Mang was even less worried that he would escape. If this Shengshi Qinglian could really help him obtain at least 2 heavenly treasures that were close to the immortal level, then Wang Mang would naturally be happy to obtain more heavenly treasures that were close to the immortal level. After all, heavenly treasures that were close to the immortal level were almost all things that could only be encountered by chance. Once there was a chance, Wang Mang would definitely not give up easily. As for really letting go of Shengshi Qinglian, this was obviously impossible. However, Wang Mang could let go of Shengshi Qinglian for the time being. When Shengshi Qinglian helped him obtain the other heavenly treasures that were close to the immortal level, at that time, he would finally deal with Shengshi Qinglian. After thinking about this, Wang Mang couldn't help but be in high spirits. Oh my God, he was so smart. At this moment, Shengshi Qinglian suddenly asked, "Fellow Taoist, you won't burn the bridge when the time comes, right?" Hearing Shengshi Qinglian's question, Wang Mang couldn't help but be shocked. Damn it, that was just what I was thinking. How did you know? Of course, it was what he thought in his heart. Wang Mang definitely wouldn't say it out loud. On the surface, Wang Mang promised solemnly, "Fellow Taoist, don't worry. Ben Huang guarantees with a demon. Ben Huang would definitely not do such a thing." Chapter 292. Hearing Wang Mang's promise, only then did Glory Green Lotus feel a little relieved. As far as he was concerned, Wang Mang was a powerful demon emperor. He wouldn't go back on his word, would he? With this mentality, half believing and half doubting, Glory Green Lotus said, I hope you will keep your promise. Hearing that, Wang Mang was secretly relieved and immediately said with a smile, Don't worry, Ben Huang has always been a man of his word. If you don't believe me, you can ask the Monster Clan. Ben Huang's reputation is almost unparalleled among the Monster Clan. Glory Green Lotus nodded slightly and said, If I provide you with 2 heaven and earth treasures close to the immortal level, you will let me go, right? Wang Mang nodded with a smile and said, As long as you provide me with 2 heaven and earth treasures close to the immortal level, I will let you go after I get them. Hearing that, Glory Green Lotus pondered for a while and said, Come with me, my friend. After that, Glory Green Lotus turned around and flew towards Mount Tai. Seeing that, Wang Mang couldn't help but be surprised. Could it be that there was more than 1 heaven and earth treasure close to the immortal level in Mount Tai? However, Wang Mang wasn't sure. Then, Wang Mang began to keep a distance from Glory Green Lotus and quickly flew towards Mount Tai. Half an hour later, Wang Mang and Glory Green Lotus arrived at the top of Mount Tai. At the same time, Wang Mang had already restrained his monster chi at this moment. At the same time, Wang Mang's huge body had also shrunk to 1/20th of its original size. It could be said that in terms of appearance, as long as Wang Mang didn't expose his own aura, whether it was ordinary monsters or heaven and earth treasures, it was very difficult for them to discover Wang Mang's strength. My friend, don't follow too closely later. I will take you to a karst cave on Mount Tai. In this karst cave on Mount Tai, there are 2 heaven and earth treasures close to the immortal level that I know. Apart from that, there should be other heavenly treasures near the immortal grade on Mount Tai, but I don't know many of them. After hearing Sheng Shi Qinglian's words, Wang Mang became even more excited, because Wang Mang had never expected this. Inside Mount Tai, there were many treasures of heaven and earth that were close to the immortal level. Wang Mang even guessed that this was Mount Tai. It was probably within the borders of the Red Empire. At most, it could only be an existence that was close to an immortal grade heavenly treasure. Fellow Taoist, please lead the way carefully. I will restrain my aura. Wang Mang hurriedly replied. After hearing Wang Mang's telepathic message, Wang Mang said in a low voice, Flourishing Green Lotus, who was leading the way, felt extremely bitter. It had never imagined that one day it would betray its friends in order to save its own life. Yes, the other 2 heavenly materials and earthly treasures that were close to the deity level in the karst cave had a lot to do with it. It could even be said that it had known the other 2 heavenly materials and earthly treasures close to the immortal grade for thousands of years. Their relationship was self-evident. But now, there was no other way. In order to survive, it could only sell these 2 heavenly materials and earthly treasures close to the immortal grade, in order to get a chance to survive. Whether it was the demon clan or the heavenly materials and earthly treasures. In fact, strength was the most important thing, whether it was reputation or character. When its life was threatened, all of these were not worth mentioning. When they arrived at the peak of Mount Tai, outside a hidden karst cave, Flourishing Green Lotus walked into the karst cave silently. As for Wang Mang, he quietly followed behind. After approaching the karst cave deep in the mountains of Mount Tai, Wang Mang could feel that the spiritual qi inside was more abundant. It was even several times more powerful than Mount Tai, which was already abundant in spiritual qi. This also made Wang Mang even more certain that Flourishing Green Lotus was definitely not lying. There must be other heavenly materials and earthly treasures close to the immortal grade in this karst cave. Once the time came, he would obtain more heavenly materials and earthly treasures close to the immortal grade. Wang Mang's strength would definitely soar again. At the very least, he could evolve several times in a row. Thinking of this, Wang Mang became even more excited. It seemed that this trip to Mount Tai would definitely be a fruitful one. It was worth mentioning that this karst cave deep in the mountains was very deep. Wang Mang followed behind Flourishing Green Lotus and quietly entered the depths of the karst cave deep in the mountains. But this karst cave deep in the mountains still seemed to have no end. Not only that, as they went deeper and deeper into the karst cave, Wang Mang could clearly feel that the spiritual qi was constantly increasing. It was as if they had entered a spirit sea. The deeper they went, the more spiritual qi there was. Wang Mang even suspected that. This Mount Tai was so rich in spiritual qi. Was it related to this karst cave deep in the mountains? Half an hour later, Wang Mang still did not reach the deepest part of the karst cave deep in the mountains. But Wang Mang could feel that he had now entered the depths of Mount Tai. At this moment, Wang Mang suddenly saw that flourishing green lotus in front of him seemed to have stopped. Then, Wang Mang vaguely heard a few other voices. "Green lotus, how is it? Did you fail to pass the tribulation?" "Yes. Green lotus, I told you not to pass the tribulation so easily. We are all heavenly materials and earthly treasures close to the immortal level. We don't need that much time." Then, Wang Mang saw that in the depths of the karst cave ahead, there was a huge and vast cave space here. The cave space here was much larger than that of the karst cave. It was like a cave with a different world. In the center of the bottom of the cave, there was a spring the size of a swimming pool. Moreover, this spring was very magical. The white steam coming out of it was full of spiritual qi. Wang Mang even suspected that this was a spiritual spring deep in Mount Tai. Because if Wang Mang guessed correctly, the spiritual qi was related to this spiritual spring. In addition, Wang Mang also saw other heavenly materials and earthly treasures. What Wang Mang paid most attention to were the other two heavenly materials and earthly treasures that were mentioned by flourishing green lotus. These two heavenly materials and earthly treasures were one with emerald green flowers and leaves like a lotus, and one with bright red flowers. The other heavenly materials and earthly treasure was a bamboo that stood upright like a green bamboo. The spiritual qi and medicinal fragrance of these two heavenly materials and earthly treasures were no less than that of green lotus. In addition, there were 6 or 7 heavenly materials and earthly treasures at the demon royal level next to the spiritual spring. To be honest, after seeing these heavenly materials and earthly treasures, Wang Mang could not be more excited. Damn it, if he could get all of them at once, he could at least evolve 4 times. Counting all kinds of gains, Wang Mang could not imagine how big the gains would be. Damn it, am I going to make a fortune? Chapter 293. Thinking of this, Wang Mang suppressed the excitement in his heart. He instinctively used message detection. The information of these heaven and earth treasures appeared in front of his eyes. Target: Lotus Seed Spiritual Lotus Cultivation Experience, 8,900 years level. Half Immortal. Target: 9 Section 100 Spirits Bamboo Cultivation Experience, 8,900 years level. Half Immortal. Target: Blackbone Spiritual Mushroom Cultivation Experience, 7,100 years level. Demon Emperor. Target: 3 Purple Soul Roland Cultivation Experience, 7,200 years level. Demon Emperor. It could be said that there were almost 10 heaven and earth treasures here, except for the 3 half-immortal treasures. The rest of the heaven and earth treasures were all at the Demon Emperor level, and most of them were at the 7,000-year level. After reading the information of these heaven and earth treasures, Wang Mang was so excited that he couldn't speak. He even almost couldn't hold back his saliva. F***, I can't stand it. If I eat all of these, my strength will definitely be close to the Demon Emperor of the Red Empire. By then, even if the Nanhua old deity came, he wouldn't be afraid at all. After all, Wang Mang's strength had already reached the level of a 7,000-year-old Demon Emperor. After this evolution, whether it was his cultivation or strength, they would all be in the truest sense. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that the strength of a 7,000-year Demon Emperor would skyrocket. By then, the Nanhua old deity wouldn't be able to do anything to him. Thinking of this, Wang Mang became even more excited. At the same time, Wang Mang also began to think about how to take action. If he took action now, it was very likely that after capturing the other two heaven and earth treasures that were close to the immortal level, then these Demon Emperor level heaven and earth treasures would take the opportunity to escape. If he wanted to capture all of these heaven and earth treasures in one net, he reckoned that he would need a helper. After thinking of this, Wang Mang already had an idea. He decided to ask the flourishing green lotus to help him capture the other Demon Emperor level heaven and earth treasures. By then, he would be able to capture all of these heaven and earth treasures in one net. Wang Mang's heart became even more wonderful. He had never imagined that he would die before the catastrophe. He still had a chance to increase his strength once more. As soon as he thought of this, Wang Mang transmitted his voice. Fellow Taoist Green Lotus, help Ben Huang catch the Demon Emperor level heavenly treasure later. Facing Wang Mang's voice transmission, Shengshi Qinglian replied calmly, "Don't worry, fellow cultivator." After hearing Shengshi Qinglian's response, Wang Mang felt more confident. At the same time, Wang Mang had already begun to quietly approach the depths of the cave. But not long after Wang Mang approached, he heard an angry voice. "Who is it? Come out." Hearing this angry shout, Wang Mang quietly looked up. Then, Wang Mang found out. The two heaven and earth treasures that were close to immortal grade had already discovered him. Now, he was staring warily in his direction. Seeing this, Wang Mang was stunned at first, but then he felt relieved. Because Wang Mang didn't think that these two heaven and earth treasures that were close to immortal grade could be faster than him. It could be said that in terms of speed, Wang Mang had never been convinced by anyone. Because of this, Wang Mang was really not afraid that these two heaven and earth treasures that were close to immortal grade would escape. Thinking of this, Wang Mang no longer hid his figure and walked openly into the depths of the cave. When they saw Wang Mang, the two heaven and earth treasures inexplicably let out a sigh of relief. Because, judging from his aura, Wang Mang's strength was not too strong. Seeing these two heaven and earth treasures that were close to immortal grade, they didn't escape immediately. Wang Mang suddenly let out a sigh of relief. This proved that these two heaven and earth treasures that were close to immortal grade didn't see him as a threat. It seemed that he had hidden his aura very well. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's heart skipped a beat, and he whispered in fear, "Monster Kings, I was passing by and happened to come here." Seeing Wang Mang trembling, the heaven and earth treasures that were present completely let down their guard. It turned out that he was just a small monster. A small monster was no threat to them at all. Even if they were demon royal grade heaven and earth treasures, their speed of escape was far beyond the reach of ordinary demon royals. Therefore, if it was just a small monster, these heaven and earth treasures wouldn't take it seriously. After all, the weakest of them were Emperor grade heaven and earth treasures. Moreover, they were heaven and earth treasures that were at the level of 7,000 years of cultivation. Heaven and earth treasures of this level were not something that a small monster could imagine at all. Wang Mang naturally took note of this inadvertent and quietly relaxed scene. Wang Mang, who was overjoyed, said in a frightened tone, "Greetings, Monster Kings." Seeing that Wang Mang regarded them as Monster Kings, these heaven and earth treasures couldn't help but laugh out loud. At the same time, they didn't take Wang Mang seriously at all. But at this moment, Wang Mang had quietly approached these heaven and earth treasures. Then, when these heaven and earth treasures were relaxed, Wang Mang suddenly burst out as fast as lightning. In just a moment, Wang Mang instantly made his move. His huge tail instantly wrapped around these two heaven and earth treasures that were close to immortal grade. At the same time, the moment Wang Mang made his move, Glory World Green Lotus also made his move. Unfortunately, Wang Mang succeeded in grabbing these two heaven and earth treasures that were close to immortal grade. However, Glory World Green Lotus didn't act so fast. It had just grabbed two Demon Emperor grade heaven and earth treasures. The rest of the Demon Emperor grade heaven and earth treasures drilled into the ground and disappeared in an instant. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang's face became extremely ugly. Wang Mang first subdued these two heaven and earth treasures that were close to immortal grade and put them into his storage space. Then, Wang Mang looked at Glory World Green Lotus. Facing Wang Mang's gaze, Glory World Green Lotus was a little embarrassed. Fellow cultivator, it's not that I don't want to help. It's that these Emperor-grade heaven and earth treasures reacted too quickly. However, fellow cultivator, I've already done the two heaven and earth treasures that are close to immortal grade that I promised you. Can you let me go now? Hearing this, Wang Mang said with a smile, "Of course. Fellow cultivator, give these two demon emperor grade heaven and earth treasures to Ben Huang first." Hearing this, Glory World Green Lotus handed the two demon emperor grade heaven and earth treasures to Wang Mang and was ready to leave. But in the next moment, something that made Glory World Green Lotus both shocked and angry happened. Wang Mang had already wrapped it with his huge tail. In shock and anger, Glory World Green Lotus looked at Wang Mang and questioned, "Fellow cultivator, what do you mean by this? Fellow cultivator, are you really going to do something worse than a pig or a dog?" Hearing this, Wang Mang said with a creepy smile, "Fellow cultivator, don't misunderstand." Ben Huang said, "Maybe I'll let you go," but he didn't say that he would definitely let you go. After hearing Wang Mang's words, Glory World Green Lotus came back to its senses. It scolded angrily, "What? You beast! You're simply a beast that's worse than a pig or a dog." Chapter 294. Hearing Shengshi Qinglian's angry scolding, Wang Mang couldn't help but sigh helplessly. "Fellow cultivator, you didn't hear it clearly. You can't blame Ben Huang for this. You can't even catch a few Demon Emperor level heaven and earth treasures. Otherwise, Ben Huang might really let you go." After hearing Wang Mang's words, Shengshi Qinglian was so angry that he couldn't speak. He guessed that even if he helped Wang Mang to catch all the heaven and earth treasures, Wang Mang probably wouldn't let him go. Because of that, even though Wang Mang's words were extravagant, they were all useless. In Shengshi Qinglian's view, it was just an excuse for him. In fact, Shengshi Qinglian didn't guess wrong. Wang Mang didn't plan to let him go at all. Therefore, after catching Shengshi Qinglian, Wang Mang immediately kept him in the storage space. At this moment, the system's voice sounded again, frowny-faced ding. "Congratulations, host. Successfully completed the mission." Ding. "Congratulations, host. Obtain 1.5 billion evolution points." Ding. "Congratulations, host. Obtain the best quality blind box, X1. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang couldn't help but burst with joy. This time, he didn't count the rewards of the system, just the heaven and earth treasures he obtained this time. It was enough for him to evolve several times. Counting the rewards given by the system, it was estimated that it could allow him to evolve 4 times in a row. With this thought, Wang Mang couldn't wait to leave the Karst cave in the depths of Mount Tai. After Wang Mang arrived outside the cave, he was about to leave. Wang Mang saw the familiar figure of Whitewater Lord rushing over from afar. After seeing Whitewater Lord, Wang Mang was a little surprised. "Why are you still here?" After hearing Wang Mang's question, Whitewater Lord was so angry that he was speechless. She had been waiting for Wang Mang to return with a full load so that she could ask Wang Mang to help her kill the black python in the reservoir. But Wang Mang's words immediately made her angry. He had completely ignored her existence. Thinking of this, Lord Whitewater suppressed his anger and asked, "Lord Demon Emperor, how was your harvest this time?" In the face of Whitewater Lord's question, Wang Mang immediately guessed that this guy might have come to him for benefits. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said helplessly, "Nothing. You can't be blamed for this. Go. Ben Huang is more tolerant. He won't vent his anger on you." After hearing Wang Mang's words, Whitewater Lord was in disbelief, because Wang Mang's tone just now was very happy. His joyful mood proved that his harvest was not bad. But now, Wang Mang was telling her that there was no harvest? She didn't believe that Wang Mang really didn't gain anything. Therefore, Lord Whitewater Lord asked carefully, I wonder if the Demon Emperor would be able to help me fulfill the request I made back then. Hearing this, Wang Mang couldn't help but be stunned. Then he immediately remembered the request that Lord White Water Lord made. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but laugh. This Lord White Water Lord still wanted to kill him. She simply didn't know how to appreciate favors. Thinking of this, Wang Mang sneered in his heart. At the same time, Wang Mang didn't decide to hide his identity. Anyway, Lord White Water Lord had no value now. He still revealed his identity. Let's make this guy feel a little better. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said coldly, Ben Huang won't help you with your request. Hearing Wang Mang's words, Lord White Water Lord was very disappointed and puzzled why. Wang Mang was speechless for a while, then sneered why. That's because I'm a giant python that lives in the reservoir. Don't tell me you want me to kill myself. After hearing Wang Mang's words, Lord White Water Lord was stunned. She stared at Wang Mang blankly, her eyes full of disbelief. How is this possible? Demon Emperor, you must be joking, right? Seeing Lord White Water Lord's shocked look, Wang Mang enjoyed it very much. But the other party was still unwilling to believe the truth. Wang Mang couldn't help but sneer. You can't believe it, right? Lord White Water Lord, when you escaped, you also killed one of Ben Huang's subordinates. It's fine if I don't bicker with you. Now you're still thinking about killing Ben Huang. You're very bold. Speaking of this, Wang Mang's eyes were full of playfulness. Hearing this, Lord White Water Lord's body began to tremble. If one were to say that Wang Mang had been joking earlier, then Wang Mang's words would have been a joke. If that was the case, then what Wang Mang said earlier was no joke. Because when she left, she did kill one of Wang Mang's subordinates to vent her anger. But this matter could only be known by Wang Mang, the person involved. It could be seen that Wang Mang was not lying to her. This meant that Wang Mang was the black python in the reservoir. Lord White Water Lord couldn't accept such a result. Even Lord White Water Lord almost couldn't help but collapse. How could Wang Mang's strength suddenly soar to the Demon Emperor level? Not only that, Wang Mang's appearance had completely changed. In addition, thinking that she had been played by the other party, Lord White Water Lord was very angry, only feeling unprecedented humiliation, especially when she thought Wang Mang had been pretending to be stupid to deceive her. She was even angrier. However, in the next instant, Wang Mang's words caused her to collapse even more. At this time, Wang Mang sneered proudly. Are you very angry? Shocked? Shocked? Lord White Water Lord, O Lord White Water Lord, if it weren't for the fact that you let Ben Huang gain a lot this time. Ben Huang spared your life because he was in a good mood. Otherwise, Ben Huang would have killed you long ago. Speaking of this, Wang Mang deliberately sighed and said, Alas, Lord White Water Lord, this time, Ben Huang could gain so much because of your contribution. Ben Huang actually got 3 heaven treasures close to the immortal level. After this time, Ben Huang's strength will definitely soar again, even to the Demon Emperor. So, while Ben Huang is in a good mood now, take it as your merits offset your demerits. After that, Wang Mang also left the top of Mount Tai in high spirits. For a moment, there was only Lord White Water Lord left in the wind. Only after Wang Mang disappeared into the distance did Lord White Water come back to his senses. Looking at the direction where Wang Mang left, Lord White Water Lord gnashed her teeth with hatred, especially when she thought that Wang Mang's strength would soar again this time. Her heart was bleeding, because all of this couldn't be separated from her contribution. If she hadn't brought Wang Mang to Mount Tai in person, Wang Mang would never have gained so many benefits. Damn black python. How dare you humiliate me like this? Lord White Water Lord, swear. I won't let you go. After a furious roar, Lord White Water Lord left angrily. At the same time, in a huge, vast, and hidden cave. At this moment, Wang Mang's huge body had been curled up into a ball. He couldn't wait to see the harvest this time. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said happily in his heart, System, open personal information. In the next moment, personal information appeared in front of his eyes. Host, Wang Mang. Type, four-winged bull flame python, peak. Cultivation, 6,700 years, demon emperor. Body shape, 180 meters long, 8 meters wide, 800,000 kilograms weight. Battle strength, 800,000 kilograms. Bite force, 120 kilometers per hour. Skills, corrosive poison, steel body, super self-healing, water breathing, bloodthirsty rage, 10,000 beast deterrence, wishful shrinking. Magical powers, king's slavery, soul control seal, broken body rebirth, mysterious water heavy domain, flying heaven and burrowing earth, magma eruption, wishful bone spur, thunder spell, one step in the world. Space, information detection, 2 immortal level treasures, 3 half-immortal level treasures, 1 chance to upgrade magical powers for free, 2 advanced blind boxes, 2 supreme grade blind boxes, 1 unlucky card, 1 crossrail projection, summoning card. Mall, open. Luck, 88, dragon phoenix among snakes. Evolution value, 7, 355 billion / 9 billion. Current ranking, 78th in the world. Chapter 295. After reading his personal information, Wang Mang secretly nodded in satisfaction. Not bad. Not bad at all. The harvest this time was simply beyond Wang Mang's expectations. His evolution points alone had accumulated more than 7 billion. In addition, there were 2 high-level blind boxes and 2 top-grade blind boxes. Just these alone were probably enough to evolve once or twice. Moreover, this was not considered anything else. Don't forget, he still had 3 heaven and earth treasures that were close to the immortal level, and 2 emperor-level heaven and earth treasures that were 7,000 years old. This was another huge amount of evolution points. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but burst with joy. At the same time, Wang Mang also decided to eat all these heaven and earth treasures first. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said happily, "System, take out 3 heaven and earth treasures that are close to the immortal level." The next moment, 3 heaven and earth treasures that were close to the immortal level suddenly appeared in front of him. Not only that, these 3 heaven and earth treasures that were close to the immortal level seemed to be restricted. At the same time, these 3 heaven and earth treasures that were close to the immortal level began to make noise as soon as they appeared. Glory World Green Lotus, you bastard. You never dreamed that you would be unable to escape misfortune, right? Ahaha. Harming others will harm oneself. Glory World Green Lotus, you betrayed us. You deserve it. Obviously, the other 2 heaven and earth treasures that were close to the immortal level. Facing Glory World Green Lotus betrayal, they were extremely angry. Fortunately, in the end, Glory World Green Lotus also ended up in the same fate as them. This was the only thing that could let them vent their anger. But facing the other 2 heaven and earth treasures that were close to the immortal level, they cursed. Glory World Green Lotus ignored them. It just looked at Wang Mang angrily and cursed again. You bastard, we agreed that if I helped you catch them, you would let me go. You don't keep your word. You are worse than pigs and dogs. You're simply not worthy of being called a demon emperor. Such a shameless person. Aren't you afraid of being ridiculed by the demon clan? Hearing this, Wang Mang was stunned for a moment and couldn't help but laugh. What you said makes sense. But don't worry, you have to have a chance to say it. Fellow Taoist, I don't think you'll have a chance to tell anyone. Hearing Wang Mang's proud words, Shengshi Qinglian trembled with anger. Wang Mang's face was too despicable. It was as if he was a petty person who had achieved success. It made people want to strangle him to death. He had never seen such a shameless demon. At the same time, when they were tired of scolding, Wang Mang also sighed with joy. It's about time. After cursing for so long, you should be able to die in peace. After that, under the horrified gaze of Shengshi Qinglian, Wang Mang was the first to throw it into its bloody mouth. This was because flourishing green lotus was the fiercest. Of course, Wang Mang would be the first to eat it. He felt that if he wasn't the first to eat it, he wouldn't be giving it any face. In the next moment, a blood-curdling scream was heard. Wang Mang only felt an enormous amount of essence that was enough to make him explode, crazily surge within his body. In fact, this enormous amount of spiritual essence simply made Wang Mang feel very uncomfortable. Fortunately, Wang Mang had long been mentally prepared for such a phenomenon. This uncomfortable feeling didn't last long. About half an hour later, it disappeared. At the same time, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully devoured the pseudo-immortal grade treasure of heaven and earth. Gained 13 billion evolution points. Ding! The accumulation has met the evolution conditions. Begin evolution? No. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang was simply bursting with joy. He didn't expect that this pseudo-immortal grade treasure of heaven and earth. It actually brought him 13 billion evolution points. Damn, this is really King awesome. As expected of a pseudo-immortal grade treasure of heaven and earth, it seemed that the one that was scolded the most fiercely was also the most valuable. Thinking of this, Wang Mang suppressed the excitement in his heart. He swallowed the other two immortal grade treasures of heaven and earth into his stomach. After that, Wang Mang also took out two emperor grade treasures of heaven and earth and swallowed them into his stomach. Then, the system's familiar voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully devoured 8,900 years old half-immortal grade treasure of heaven and earth. Ding! Congratulations, host. Gained 12 billion evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully devoured 8,900 years old half-immortal grade treasure of heaven and earth. Ding! Congratulations, host. Gained 12 billion evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully devoured 7,000 years old emperor grade treasure of heaven and earth. Ding! Congratulations, host. Gained 300 million evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully devoured 7,000 years old emperor grade treasure of heaven and earth. Ding! Congratulations, host. Gained 300 million evolution points. After the system's voice ended, Wang Mang was bursting with joy. Just by devouring these heaven and earth treasures, he had gained more than 37 billion evolution points. This was simply terrifying. In addition to his own evolution points, he already had over 40 billion evolution points. This was definitely enough for him to evolve 4 times. Thinking about this, Wang Mang was extremely excited. After this evolution, his body would probably reach 200 meters. Thinking about this, Wang Mang could not help but feel excited. He never thought that he would gain so much from this trip. If the Nanhua Old Immortal did not chase after him, he definitely would not have gained so many benefits. This was all thanks to the Nanhua Old Immortal and the White Water Lord. Damn, to become strong, one must go through a lot of tribulations. Tribulations are the best things that can make people grow. Alright, I don't care about this kind of tribulations. At the same time, he was deeply moved. Wang Mang could not help but want to properly thank the Nanhua Old Immortal. When he thought of this, Wang Mang joyfully said in his heart, System, use bad luck card. Target, Nanhua Old Immortal. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully used bad luck card. For the next 7 days, the target will be plagued with bad luck. If light, they will be heavily injured. If heavy, they will even die. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang secretly nodded his head in satisfaction. He had to take care of the Nanhua Old Immortal. This was the bad luck card that he had obtained with great difficulty. He did not hesitate to use it on this rotten old man. At the same time, Wang Mang was also preparing to evolve. This time, he wanted to see if he could successfully evolve 4 times in a row. Thinking about this, Wang Mang could not help but feel excited and expectant. Then, Wang Mang said in his heart, System, begin evolving. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Successfully deducted 9 billion evolution points. Beginning evolution. Chapter 296. After that, Wang Meng lost consciousness in the process of evolution. 2 hours later, Wang Meng woke up from the process of evolution. However, Wang Meng did not have time to check his changes. After that, Wang Meng said in his mind again, "System, continue evolving." In the next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding! 10 billion evolution points have been deducted. After that, Wang Meng lost consciousness in the process of evolution again. 2 hours later, Wang Meng woke up again. After that, he said in his mind again, "System, continue evolving." After that, Wang Meng lost consciousness in the process of evolution again. However, what Wang Meng did not know was, while he was evolving, on the other side, something happened to the Nanhua Old Immortal. At this moment, in a vast forest, the Nanhua Old Immortal stood proudly on top of a mountain and laughed wildly. This was because he had found a treasure that was close to immortal level in a secret realm. After obtaining this heaven and earth treasure that was close to the immortal level, the Nanhua Old Immortal was overjoyed. This was because of his cultivation and strength. Only a treasure that was close to immortal level would be of great help to him. Ordinary 7,000-year-old emperor-grade treasures of heaven and earth had very little effect on him. This was why it was harder for him to increase his strength as he progressed. All these years, he had been searching for treasures that were close to immortal level. However, there were too few treasures that were close to immortal level. It could even be said that he could only find them by chance. After all these years, this was the second treasure that he had found that was close to immortal level. The first heaven and earth treasure that was close to the immortal grade allowed his cultivation to reach the level of 8,000 years. However, he had not found any treasures that were close to immortal level in the past few hundred years. However, today was the second day that he had found a treasure that was close to immortal level. What did this mean? This meant that it was a good sign. This meant that his strength could increase again. Thinking of this, the Nanhua Old Immortal could not wait to find a place to go into seclusion. He couldn't wait to become stronger. Moreover, according to his guess, this heaven and earth treasure was close to the immortal grade. At the very least, it would allow him to increase his cultivation by another 200 years. At that time, he would be one step closer to becoming an earth immortal. Soon, Nanhua Old Immortal found a secluded cave and began his seclusion. 2 hours later, Nanhua Old Immortal, who was in seclusion, suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood. Nanhua Old Deity's face was red and his eyes were bloodshot. He was confused. He roared angrily to himself. "Damn it! What the hell is going on?" This old man had only gone into seclusion once. How could I have entered a state of chi deviation? At this moment, the Nanhua Old Immortal's face turned pale and he coughed up blood again. No, why is this happening? My quasi-immortal grade heavenly treasure. Nanhua Old Immortal's face was like a mad lion. His head of white hair, which was originally like a waterfall, had fallen off in large patches. It was obvious that he had suffered internal injuries when he was in seclusion. Because of this, Nanhua Old Immortal's heart was bleeding. Because this quasi-immortal grade heavenly treasure did not help him break through his cultivation. Instead, it caused him to suffer from serious injuries. This was simply unheard of. After all, he was not breaking through a major bottleneck. For example, breaking through the 8,000 or 9,000 years bottleneck. It was easy to suffer from a backlash when breaking through these bottlenecks. But the problem was that he had only gone into seclusion once. Moreover, he had gone into seclusion with the help of a quasi-immortal grade heavenly treasure. It was not an exaggeration to say that he had suffered from a backlash, even in such a situation. This was also the reason why Nanhua Old Immortal was so angry. Because not only did he waste a quasi-immortal grade heavenly treasure during his seclusion, but his cultivation did not increase at all. Moreover, his strength did not increase at all. Instead, he was heavily injured. The Nanhua, old immortal, felt like dying after suffering such a heavy injury. He stood up shakily and left the cave. His old face was pale and haggard. At the same time, Nanhua, old immortal, began to calculate the reason for this. What was going on? This was because he felt that it was too abnormal for him to suffer from chi deviation during his seclusion. Unfortunately, no matter how hard Nanhua, old immortal, tried to calculate, he could not find the reason. But what made Nanhua, old immortal, both shocked and angry was that he had been plagued with bad luck recently. Nanhua, old immortal's face was extremely ugly. He finally decided to find a place to recover first. But what Nanhua, old immortal, did not know was that bad luck was still waiting for him. At the same time, on the other side, Wang Mang had already completed 4 evolutions. When he woke up from his second evolution, Wang Mang discovered that his body had undergone a huge change. He still remembered. The first evolution cost him 9 billion evolution points. The second evolution cost him 10 billion evolution points. The third evolution cost him 12 billion evolution points. The fourth evolution cost him 13 billion evolution points. The 4 evolutions cost him 44 billion evolution points. This almost emptied Wang Mang's evolution points. However, Wang Mang was not worried. He still had 2 advanced blind boxes and 2 peak quality blind boxes. Thinking about this, Wang Mang's mood became better. At the same time, Wang Mang also discovered something. His strength had undergone a huge change after this evolution. However, this was within Wang Mang's expectations. After all, this was a rare 4 evolutions. He felt that there was an indescribable gap between his current strength and his previous strength. As for how big the gap was and what level his strength had reached, he did not know. Wang Mang was not too sure. He could only find out after looking at the data. Thinking about this, Wang Mang's mood became better. He thought to himself, "System, open my personal information. Host, Wang Mang type. 4-winged bull flame python. Peak, cultivation, 7,100 years. Demonic emperor. Body, 196 meters long, 9 meters wide. 1 million kilograms weight. Battle strength, 1 million kilograms. Bite force, 128 kilometers per hour. Skills, corrosive poison, steel body, super healing, water breathing, bloodthirsty rage, 10,000 beast deterrence, wishful shrinking divine abilities. King's slavery, soul controlling seal, broken body rebirth, mysterious water domain, heaven flight, earth escape, magma eruption, wishful bone spur, thunder spell, 1 step in the world. Space, information detection, free chance to upgrade divine ability X1, advanced blind box X2, peak quality blind box X2, expert cross-boundary projection summoning card X1 shopping center. Open luck, 88, dragon among snakes, evolution points, 955 million/14 billion current ranking, 68th in the world. Chapter 297. After reading his personal information, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. His strength had increased by a lot this time. First of all, his body size had reached an unprecedented 196 meters. In addition, he was only 1 evolution away from 200 meters. Other than that, Wang Mang's body width had also increased a little. Now his body width had reached 9 meters. His speed had also reached 128 kilometers per hour. Furthermore, his weight had reached 1 million kilograms. In other words, his body mass was equivalent to 1,100 tons. What did 1,100 tons mean? To be honest, Wang Mang himself was not too sure. A small car was only 2 or 3 tons. His body mass was equivalent to hundreds of small cars. This was very exaggerated. Moreover, Wang Mang had discovered it. When his body mass exceeded 100, both his body mass and weight had increased. All of them were in a state of explosive growth. In short, the growth was getting more and more ridiculous. Now, Wang Mang could say that there were no creatures on land that could threaten him. Even the various weapons of the Empire were not much of a threat to him. Even if an atomic bomb exploded, it would not be able to kill him. He could easily dodge it. In addition, Wang Mang's cultivation had reached 7,100 years. With such cultivation, Wang Mang had already caught up with the Red Empire's demon emperors. Wang Mang even thought that with his current strength, he could even beat Stone Emperor until he called him Grandpa. Even if Nanhua Old Deity came, he would not be afraid, because the increase in cultivation was an increase in overall strength. It did not mean that it only increased cultivation, but it increased in all aspects. For example, a 5-year-old child holding a kitchen knife had limited lethality. How could a 20-year-old adult holding a kitchen knife have the same lethality? This was obviously a completely different concept. Cultivation represented strength. It was the same principle. For a moment, Wang Mang was in high spirits. Looking at the entire Red Empire, it seemed that there was no demon emperor that could be his opponent. Among the human powerhouses, only Nanhua Old Deity made him pay attention. Speaking of Nanhua Old Immortal, Wang Mang didn't know how he was doing. After all, Wang Mang was also curious about the power of the bad luck card. But Wang Mang would never know. Coincidentally, he had used the bad luck card to harm the Nanhua Immortal. Nanhua Old Immortal had lost a half-immortal treasure. If he knew the news, Wang Mang would probably be even happier. Being invincible is so lonely. The current me should be able to look down on all heroes. As expected, this emperor is one of the most talented people. If the heavens didn't give birth to me, Wang Mang, all eternity would be like a long night. At this moment, Wang Mang muttered to himself in an indomitable tone, after proudly bragging for a while. That was why Wang Mang was hesitating whether he should continue evolving. Right now, he was only 10 billion evolution points away from evolving once again. However, Wang Mang still had 4 blind boxes. Thus, Wang Mang was still confident about evolving once again. Thinking about this, Wang Mang was a bit moved. How about evolving once again? After all, a volume of 200 meters sounded much better than 196 meters. Thinking about this, Wang Mang had already made a decision. He decided to try to evolve once again. Thinking about this, Wang Mang began to struggle. Should he open the advanced blind box first? Or should he open the top grade blind box first? Forget it. Let's open the advanced blind box first. Anyway, it was 10 billion evolution points. Counting on 1 or 2 blind boxes to open, it was unlikely. After Wang Mang muttered to himself, he said in his heart, "System, open the advanced blind box." In the next moment, the system's voice sounded, "Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully opened the advanced blind box." Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 45 million evolution points. Damn! After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was speechless. Right now, he would need 10 billion evolution points to evolve. However, the first prize of the advanced blind box was only a few tens of millions evolution points. For Wang Mang, this was like trying to put out a burning cart with a cup of water. This amount of evolution points was enough to make a chicken feather. At the same time that Wang Mang was speechless, he also began to feel a little uneasy. He was afraid that the next prize would not be good enough. Wang Mang was waiting anxiously. A minute passed. The system's voice sounded for the second time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 1 corpse subduing talisman. F***CK your mother. Hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang could not help but curse. Fuck! What use did he have for the corpse subduing talisman? He was not a Taoist, so he did not need to catch ghosts or subdue demons. This thing was completely useless to him. At the same time, Wang Mang's mood became even more gloomy. He did not get anything good after opening the prizes twice. What was going on? Could it be that his luck was just for show? To be honest, Wang Mang did not even have the strength to curse. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the 3rd time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 500 million evolution points. After hearing about the prizes this time, Feng Xiu was shocked. Wang Mang's gloominess lessened a lot, although 500 million evolution points was not much. However, compared to the previous 2 prizes, Wang Mang felt that 500 million evolution points was already good. He hoped that the next prize would be better. Otherwise, even if he opened all the blind boxes, Wang Meng did not have much confidence that he would be able to obtain enough evolution points to evolve again. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the fourth time. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 500 million evolution points. Not bad, not bad. Keep it up. Hearing the prize this time, Wang Meng felt a lot better. He had already accumulated 1 billion evolution points. This advanced blind box was not too bad compared to the previous ones. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the fifth time. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 600 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Meng's mood was not bad. An advanced blind box could give him 6 billion evolution points. In Wang Meng's opinion, this was already not bad. Thinking about this, Wang Meng's mood became better. System, open the advanced blind box again. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded again. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully opened the advanced blind box. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 900 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Meng immediately felt happy. Not bad, not bad. This advanced blind box gave him 900 million evolution points. It was much better than the advanced blind box. This was a good sign. Thinking about this, Wang Meng began to look forward to the next prize. He hoped that the next prize would be as awesome as before. This was because Wang Meng saw a lot of hope from this advanced blind box. At this time, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. 9 billion evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Meng's heart was once again bursting with joy. Good. Very good. This was only the second prize. It was already close to 3 billion evolution points. This advanced blind box was awesome. Thinking about this, Wang Meng's heart was filled with joy. At the same time, Wang Meng was looking forward to the next prize. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the fourth time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 2 billion evolution points. Damn! Good. Very powerful. Wang Meng was so happy that he could not close his mouth. He never thought that an advanced blind box could be so awesome. This was only the fourth prize. It gave him so many evolution points. That was a total of 5 billion evolution points. How many evolution points could he get next? Thinking about this, Wang Meng became excited. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the fifth time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained. Chapter 298. Then the system's voice sounded for the fifth time. Frowny face. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 400 million evolution points. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Meng was speechless. He was happy for nothing. He thought that the fifth time would be even more heaven-defying. In the end, he got 400 million evolution points. This caused Wang Meng to be greatly disappointed. However, the evolution points he got from the entire advanced blind box, Wang Meng was still very satisfied. This was the second advanced blind box. How many evolution points did he get? A total of 5 billion evolution points. This was 3 times more than the first advanced blind box. Originally, he did not have that many evolution points. Now, his evolution points had reached 8 billion evolution points. This was the last 6 billion evolution points that Wang Meng needed to evolve again. 2 top-quality blind boxes gave him 6 billion evolution points. From Wang Meng's point of view, it was too simple. After all, the top-quality blind box was not something that the advanced blind box could compare to. The good things that he got did not seem to disappoint Wang Meng. Maybe a top-quality blind box would give him 6 billion evolution points? Thinking about this, Wang Meng said happily, "System, open a top-quality blind box for me." In the next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny face. Ding. Congratulations, host. Successfully opened a top-quality blind box. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained Skill Fusion Card. Skill Fusion Card. After 3 skills are fused, a new skill will appear. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang froze for a moment and was speechless. This skill fusion card was not good, but it was not bad either. It could be considered to fuse a new skill, because Wang Mang did not use many skills now, other than a few skills that were necessary for battle. The rest of his skills were actually not that useful anymore, because many of his skills were gradually being replaced by divine abilities. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the second time, frowny-faced Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 100 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang couldn't help but be speechless again. This was simply beyond Wang Mang's understanding of the best blind box. Oh my god, this isn't the best blind box I imagined. In truth, the blind box had actually given him 100 million evolution points. Even Wang Mang was taken aback. This was too fake. I hope that the next prizes won't disappoint me. At this moment, the system's voice sounded for the third time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 1 billion evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang finally breathed a sigh of relief. He was afraid that he would open something rubbish again, or give him a few 100 million evolution points. If that was the case, Wang Mang would definitely doubt his life. Luckily, after the third draw, he had finally obtained evolution points. At this moment, the system's voice sounded for the fourth time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 900 million evolution points. Not bad, not bad. I won't get angry. At this moment, Wang Mang kept comforting himself. Fine. In truth, Wang Mang was already in a bad mood. If it was an advanced blind box, then forget it. But the problem was that this was a best blind box. After 4 draws, it only gave him 2 billion evolution points. What the hell was going on? Especially when he thought about how the best blind boxes in the past only gave good things. Wang Mang became even angrier when he thought about it. What the hell was this? It felt like he had opened a fake best blind box. At this moment, the system's voice sounded for the 5th time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 200 million evolution points. Damn it, 200 million evolution points had come. Is this trying to get rid of a beggar? Wang Mang immediately became angry. Originally, his good mood was good. Now, they had been tossed around and disappeared. At the same time, Wang Mang did not have much hope for the next prizes. From Wang Mang's point of view, the best blind box could be considered as useless. He had never opened such a deceitful best blind box. Just when Wang Mang was cursing in his heart, the system's voice sounded for the 6th time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 300 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was even more speechless. He felt that he had opened a lonely box. Damn, a best blind box only gave 25 evolution points. It was not even as good as an advanced blind box. Even Wang Mang was filled with anger when he opened this top-grade blind box. Damn it, I don't believe it. If you have the ability, then let me open some more trash. Wang Mang angrily gritted his teeth. Then, Wang Mang silently said in his heart, System, open another best blind box for me. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded again. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully opened a best blind box. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 1 billion evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang's anger finally calmed down a lot. This was because Wang Mang had discovered something. As long as the first item from the blind box was not too bad, then the quality of the items from the blind box was not bad. However, if the first item was not good, then the next item would definitely not be good. This was something that Wang Mang had gained experience from opening so many blind boxes. Of course, everything had an exception. However, Wang Mang had seen through it. This kind of exception was very rare. However, the best blind box this time, Wang Mang felt that it should not be too bad. At this moment, the system's voice sounded for the 2nd time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtain 5 billion evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang could not help but secretly nod his head in satisfaction. This second best blind box's quality was indeed very high. This was only the 2nd time he had opened it, and he had already obtained 2 5 billion evolution points. It could be said that with only 2 draws, he had already surpassed the previous best blind box. Thinking about this, Wang Mang began to look forward to the next draw. At this moment, the system's voice sounded for the 3rd time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 2 billion evolution points. Ding! The accumulation has met the requirements for evolution. Would you like to begin evolution? No. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang happily muttered. At the same time, Wang Mang could not help but secretly sigh. Damn, this was also a top-quality blind box, but why was the difference so big? At this moment, the system's voice sounded for the 4th time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained a 7,000-year-old Emperor-level Spirit Peach, Heaven and Earth treasure. Hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned for a while. He was somewhat speechless. However, this prize was not too bad. The only bad thing was that his cultivation was lacking. If he was given a 9,000-year-old Heaven and Earth treasure, Wang Mang would definitely be very happy. Thus, Wang Mang could only hope. If he was given a Heaven and Earth treasure, then he would give him something with a higher cultivation. At this moment, the system's voice sounded for the 5th time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained. Chapter 299. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the 5th time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 500 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang felt a bit regretful. He thought that the system would be as awesome as before. At the very least, it should give him more than 1 billion evolution points. He did not expect that this time's lottery draw would fail. However, Wang Mang did not mind. After all, this was a good item from the top-quality blind box. It was much better than the previous top-quality blind box. Even if it turned out to be trash, Wang Mang could still accept it. Moreover, he already had enough points to evolve again. This was also the reason why Wang Mang's mentality was so good. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the 6th time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 500 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was speechless again. These 2 consecutive times gave him 500 million evolution points. This amount of evolution points was like a drizzle to Wang Mang. However, thinking about it, the second top-quality blind box gave him 5 billion evolution points. Wang Mang's mood became a lot better. Although all the blind boxes were open this time, his harvest was also very good. He once again accumulated enough evolution points to evolve again. Thinking about it, Wang Mang's mood became very good. After that, Wang Mang silently said in his heart, System, take out the 7,000 years cultivation level Spirit Peach. In the next moment, a huge and tender peach appeared in front of Wang Mang's eyes. After seeing the peach in front of him, Wang Mang did not hesitate and swallowed it. At the same time, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. Devoured the 7,000 years cultivation level Spirit Peach heavenly treasure. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 300 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang's heart was bursting with joy. Not bad, not bad. After this evolution, his size would reach an unprecedented level of 200 meters. Just thinking about it made Wang Mang excited. For Wang Mang, this was another major obstacle. At the same time, it was also a breakthrough in strength. With that thought, Wang Mang silently said in his heart, System, begin the evolution. The next moment, the system's voice then sounded frowny-faced. Ding! Successfully deducted 14 billion evolution points. Beginning evolution. After that, Wang Mang completely lost consciousness in the midst of his evolution. 2 hours later, Wang Mang slowly woke up from his evolution. After waking up, Wang Mang observed his body. He was surprised to find that his 2 horns had grown quite a bit. Now, the 2 sharp corners had reached a length of nearly 10 meters. Other than that, his body length did not change much. He felt that he had improved. However, the improvement shouldn't be too great. But how many changes had there been? Wang Mang needed to check his personal information to know. With that thought, Wang Mang silently said in his heart, "System, open my personal information." The next moment, personal information appeared in front of him. Host, Wang Mang. Type, four-winged bull flame python, limit. Cultivation, 7,200 years, demon emperor. Body shape, 200 meters long, 9 meters wide, 2 million kilograms weight. Combat power, 2 million kilograms bite force, 129 kilometers per hour. Skills, corrosive poison, steel body, super self-healing, water breathing, bloodthirsty rage, 10,000 beast deterrence, wishful shrinking. Magical powers, king's slavery, soul control seal, broken body regeneration, mysterious water domain, heaven escape, magma eruption, wishful bone spur, thunder spell, one step in the world. Space, information detection, free chance to upgrade magical powers X1. Powerhouse cross-border projection, summoning card X1, skill fusion card X1. Shopping center, activated. Luck, 88, dragon among snakes. Evolution points, 2, 3 billion/15 billion. Current ranking, 68th in the world. After looking at his personal information, Wang Mang secretly nodded with satisfaction. Although this evolution did not increase his strength by much. However, Wang Mang's body size had increased by quite a bit. Furthermore, his cultivation had reached the level of 7,200 years. In Wang Mang's opinion, such a level was among the land demon emperors. Within the Red Empire, there should be no opponents, right? Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but feel proud. He had a feeling of swallowing mountains and rivers. However, Wang Mang was somewhat hesitant about whether to use the skill fusion card. After thinking for a while, Wang Mang finally decided that it was better not to use it. After all, most of his current skills could be used in battle, and none of them were too trashy. Thinking of this, Wang Mang decided not to use the skills for the time being. Now, his priority was not to solve the problem of the skills. Instead, his priority was to solve the problem of the template. This was because his body size had already reached 200 meters. This was already the limit of the current template. Therefore, what Wang Mang needed to solve now was the problem of the new template. Thinking of this, Wang Mang also felt a little helpless. He realized that he could not stay idle after coming out. His strength had just skyrocketed. Right now, he needed to think of a way to create a new template. However, Wang Mang was also looking forward to his new template in the future. What would this new template be like? Just as Wang Mang was thinking about how to create a template, the system's voice sounded again, ding. Detected the current situation of the host. The host is given the following mission to choose from. Mission 1. Ignore the Nanhua old deity, who has been severely injured. Mission time. Available upon selection. Mission reward. 500 million evolution points. Beginner blind box, X1. Mission 2. Seize the opportunity to teach the Nanhua old deity a lesson when he has already been greatly injured. Mission time. Available upon completion. Mission reward. 1 billion evolution points. Advanced blind box, X1. Mission 3. Hit the Nanhua old deity when he has already been greatly injured. Mission time. Available upon completion. Mission reward. 2 billion evolution points. Best quality blind box, X1. Designated lottery ticket, X1. Random lottery ticket, X1. After listening to the system's mission, Wang Mang could not help but be stunned. His strength had increased greatly. He was just looking for a target to test out. A mission appeared just like that. Moreover, the target of this mission was the Nanhua old deity. If it was in the past, Wang Mang would have rejected it without hesitation. After all, even if he had reached his current strength, he did not have the confidence to take down the Nanhua old deity. However, this referred to the Nanhua old deity when his strength was at its peak. But now, the Nanhua old deity was greatly injured? Damn it, this ferocious old man. Is he finally going to die? Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but become excited. Chapter 300. With this thought in mind, Wang Mang became even more excited. This damned old man was too much of a bully. Oh no, it should be. He's too much. Not long ago, he even tried to kill me. I'm in such a sorry state now. I'm finally at my limit. Just thinking about it. Wang Mang couldn't help but smile from ear to ear. F***, that damned old man. You finally have a day like this. Thinking of this, Wang Mang made a decision. Then, Wang Mang said in his heart, "System, I choose mission 3. The next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding. Congratulations, host. Successfully chosen mission. Please complete the mission as soon as possible to receive the reward." After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was even more motivated. Because among the 3 missions, whether it was the first or the second mission, it was fine. Compared to the third mission, the rewards of these 2 missions were simply too weak. Moreover, the conflict between the Nanhua old deity and Wang Mang had been going on for a long time. Moreover, if the old man didn't die, Wang Mang would feel uneasy. After all, in the Red Empire, the only one who could suppress him was the Nanhua old deity. After killing the Nanhua old deity, it seemed like he would be the real boss in the Red Empire. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was even more motivated. Moreover, the benefits of killing the Nanhua old deity were not limited to this. At that time, he would have a new template, 1 designated lottery ticket, 1 random lottery ticket, a top-quality blind box, and 2 billion evolution points. He might even be able to get rid of the template and evolve again. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel happy. After being happy for a while, Wang Mang, who had calmed down, immediately noticed a problem. That was, he didn't know where the Nanhua old deity was. What if the Nanhua old deity wasn't in the Changbai Mountains? Forget it. Let's go take a look first. Thinking of this, Wang Mang took out the map and looked at it for a while. Only then did Wang Mang come out of the cave and set off again. After arriving outside the cave, Wang Mang's body instantly transformed into its huge original form, and then 4 wings grew out from its back. Then, Wang Mang's body soared into the sky and instantly soared into the clouds. At the same time, beside the heaven lake of Changbai Mountain, in a simple thatched hut. At this moment, Nanhua old deity's face was pale and haggard. This was because not long ago, on his way back, he had encountered his greatest enemy. After a tough battle, Nanhua old immortal was almost killed by his greatest enemy. In the end, he managed to escape by the skin of his teeth. Moreover, he had always believed that the most dangerous place was the safest place. Therefore, he did not go anywhere. Instead, he returned to his lair. In Nanhua old immortal's view, his mortal enemy would never expect him to return to Changbai Mountain. Thinking of this, Nanhua old immortal smiled and said to himself, "Old monster 5 poisons, you wouldn't even dream that I would hide in my lair." Not long after, the Nanhua old immortal thought of something and his face turned gloomy. He realized that he had been very unlucky recently. For the past 2 days, everything had gone wrong and he was plagued by bad luck. Ever since he obtained the half-deity treasure, his luck seemed to have disappeared and he was constantly in danger. However, he could not figure out what was going on. Even if he tried to figure out crazily, he would still not be able to figure it out. Nanhua old immortal's face turned gloomy as he thought of this. "I don't believe it. I've been hiding in my lair for the past few days. If I don't go out, do you think these bad luck things will come to me?" But as soon as he said this, Nanhua old immortal felt an inexplicable sense of uneasiness in his heart. This inexplicable sense of uneasiness made Nanhua old immortal a little scared, because whenever he had this feeling in the past 2 days, something bad would happen. Moreover, the bad things here were not ordinary bad things. In fact, it was very likely that he would face an extremely dangerous situation. Damn it! What's going on? Where is the source of this uneasiness? Nanhua old immortal said with a ferocious face. He even had the urge to run away from his lair immediately. But in the end, Nanhua old immortal suppressed the urge. In Nanhua old immortal's eyes, encountering something dangerous outside was much more dangerous than encountering something dangerous in his lair. Nanhua Old Immortal suppressed the fear and uneasiness in his heart and sat down cross-legged to heal himself. No matter what kind of danger it was, only absolute strength could help him get through it. Moreover, his vitality was greatly damaged and he was heavily injured. His physical condition was very bad. In this situation, he might not even be able to use half of his strength. Instead of worrying about danger, he would rather take the opportunity to heal himself. But at this moment, Nanhua Old Immortal suddenly opened his eyes and sensed the terrifying demonic chi coming from the cottage. Nanhua Old Immortal quickly got up and rushed out of the cottage. He saw a familiar figure appear in the distance. The next moment, Nanhua Old Immortal saw Wang Mang's familiar figure. But to Nanhua Old Immortal's surprise and anger, Wang Mang's strength skyrocketed again. Last time, Wang Mang was only a demonic emperor. His cultivation was only at the level of 6,000 years. But this time, Wang Mang's cultivation was at the level of 7,000 years. Not only that, Wang Mang's aura was unbelievably powerful. It was not the aura of an ordinary 7,000-year demonic emperor. He was not weaker than the Emperor of Stone at all. That was why Nanhua Old Immortal was so scared. Damn it, could he be any more disgusting? This was even worse than his dead Xiao heir. But Nanhua Old Immortal didn't show it. On the contrary, Nanhua Old Immortal still looked calm. He didn't want Wang Mang to see that he was weak and severely injured. Therefore, the Nanhua Old Deity stared at Wang Mang coldly and said, "Don't worry, bastard. Last time, you were lucky enough to escape. Instead of going and hiding, you dare to appear in front of this old man? Do you really think that I don't dare to kill this bastard?" Hearing Nanhua Old Immortal's words, Wang Mang couldn't help but laugh. Of course, he knew that Nanhua Old Immortal was bluffing. After all, the system's judgment had never been wrong. Therefore, Wang Mang said helplessly, "Nanhua Old Immortal. Nanhua Old Immortal, Ben Huang has seen through the mortal world recently. Therefore, I have come here today to seek nothing but death. Old Immortal, Ben Huang knows that he has sinned. Please kill me." Chapter 301. After hearing Wang Mang's words, the Nanhua deity looked as if he had seen a ghost. Especially after hearing Wang Mang's words, he looked as if he had realized something. The Nanhua deity was completely dumbfounded. What the hell was Wang Mang doing? Was he really here to ask for death? But the Nanhua deity couldn't figure it out. What kind of monster emperor would come here to ask for death? Thinking of this, the Nanhua Old Immortal started to panic. He wondered if Wang Mang had noticed his abnormality and was testing him. Thinking of this, the Nanhua Old Immortal was both shocked and angry, but he also began to think of a countermeasure. Seeing Wang Mang begging for death, the Nanhua deity was even more furious. If Wang Mang dared to ask for death when he was in his peak state, he definitely wouldn't hesitate to slap Wang Mang to death. But the problem was that he was just bluffing. If he were to make a move, then Wang Mang would definitely notice something was wrong. The Nanhua deity said coldly, "Fine. Seeing that the heavens are benevolent, this old man will let you go. You can leave now. Take care of yourself." With that, the Nanhua Old Immortal snorted, flung his sleeves, and prepared to return to the thatched hut. At this moment, Wang Mang couldn't help but sneer in his heart. This old man was really good at pretending. Even at this point in time, he could still continue to pretend. Thinking up to this point, Wang Mang purposely shouted with a sorrowful tone, "Wait, old deity, Ben Huang doesn't want to live anymore. I beg you, please kill me. I want to repent and atone for my sins." Hearing Wang Mang's words, the Nanhua Old Immortal, who had just turned around, twisted his face. Nanhua Old Immortal was infuriated. He had never heard of such a despicable request in his life. Moreover, he could see it clearly. It was very likely that Wang Mang had sensed his abnormality. Otherwise, he wouldn't have provoked him again and again. Thinking of this, Old Immortal Nanhua hesitated. He wasn't sure if he could take down Wang Mang with his current strength. After all, Wang Mang was no longer the same as before. His cultivation had reached the level of over 7,000 years. Compared to him, there was still a gap of 1,000 years. But the problem was that he might not even be able to use half of his strength. But at this moment, Wang Mang's words made his hair stand on end. Suddenly, Wang Mang's slightly doubtful voice came from behind. Nanhua, old immortal, are you seriously injured? Old immortal Nanhua's body stiffened, and he abruptly turned around. At the same time, a terrifying fluctuation of true energy was being emitted from his body. His eagle-like eyes stared coldly at Wang Mang, and he said indifferently, "You can try. This old man is in a good mood and will let you go. Don't act recklessly." Hearing this, Wang Mang couldn't be bothered to pretend anymore. "Really? Let's give it a try then." "Ben Huang, I'd like to see who will die in whose hands today." Hearing Wang Mang's naked provocation, as well as the killing intent in his words, Wang Mang was stunned. Old immortal Nanhua knew that a fierce battle was unavoidable. With that thought in mind, the Nanhua old immortal shouted angrily, "Good, since that was the case. Today this old man will kill you on the spot." With that said, Nanhua old immortal's aura burst out. Strong winds blew in all directions, and true chi vibrated. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang was shocked. He immediately guessed that this old man must be angry out of humiliation and was about to go all out. But in the next moment, the Nanhua old immortal suddenly shot into the distance. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang was dumbfounded. The F***CK? What happened to the promised battle to the death? In the end, he F***king ran away? For a moment, Wang Mang was speechless. However, Nanhua old immortal had escaped. Wang Mang was not worried at all, because with his speed, the Nanhua old immortal would not be able to escape. Also, the Nanhua old immortal's escape proved one thing. The Nanhua old immortal's condition was worse than what the system had said. Thinking of this, Wang Mang sneered. "Old man, do you think you can escape from Ben Huang?" As soon as he finished speaking, Wang Mang flapped his wings and flew away as fast as lightning. At the same time, Wang Mang also used his divine power, one step in the heavens. In an instant, Wang Mang's already super fast speed was so fast that his afterimage could not be seen. In just a few minutes, Wang Mang had already seen the Nanhua old immortal fleeing in the sky. At the same time, the Nanhua old immortal also sensed that Wang Mang had caught up from behind him. When he looked back, the Nanhua old immortal's face was as dark as water. He immediately rushed down the mountain. At the same time, the Nanhua old immortal also felt very frustrated. This was because he had never thought that one day he would be chased by an ant that he used to look down on. But in the next moment, the Nanhua old immortal felt a terrifying presence behind him before he could get angry. He instinctively dodged and saw a huge beam of magma light explode from his side. Clearly, Wang Mang had used an offensive divine power on him from behind. Shocked and furious, the Nanhua old immortal did not dare to stay any longer, because Wang Mang's offensive divine power was much stronger than before. While the Nanhua old immortal was furious, Wang Mang's arrogant voice came from behind him again. "Nanhua old immortal, why are you running? Didn't you want to fight Ben Huang to the death? If you have the ability, then stop and fight me to the death. Ben Huang wants to laugh when he sees you running away. Aren't you very powerful? Come on, don't run if you can. Do you believe that Ben Huang will crush your balls?" Faced with Wang Mang's provocation, the Nanhua old immortal finally couldn't hold back his anger. "Shameless bastard, why didn't you come and fight me when I was at my peak? You're taking advantage of me when I'm down? Give me half a month to recover, then we'll fight again." Wang Mang sneered in his mind after hearing the Nanhua old immortal's words. "Mother ***, give him half a month to recuperate, and then we'll see who's better." How could Wang Mang agree to such an idiotic request? If he really gave the Nanhua old immortal time to recover, then what was the point of him coming here? If he really gave the Nanhua old immortal time to recover, how could he complete the mission? F***CK, looks like this Nanhua old deity is really too ugly to dream about. He was here to kick him when he was down, okay? Unless he had nothing else to do, he would fight this old man fairly. Of course, that was what he thought. Wang Mang sneered on the surface. Nanhua, old immortal, looks like you're really old and useless. A true expert won't find excuses for his failure. How about this? Ben Huang won't bully you. Ben Huang will use 10% of his strength to fight you. How about that? Hearing Wang Mang's words, the Nanhua, old immortal, laughed in anger. Really? Hearing this, Wang Mang proudly said, of course, more real than a pearl. Ben Huang is a man of his word. Plus, Nanhua, old immortal, do you really think you can escape? Ever since I became a king, I've been unstoppable and invincible. Killing you is as easy as flipping my hand. Even 10% of his strength can easily suppress you. Chapter 302. After hearing Wang Mang's arrogant words, the Nanhua, old deity, was even more furious. He had never seen such a shameless monster. Ever since he claimed the title of king, he had been unrivaled throughout the world. Who was the one who had been chased by him in the first place? Thinking of this, the Nanhua, old deity, sneered. You? You were chased by me like a stray dog. Hearing the Nanhua, old deity's words, Wang Mang was enraged and said coldly, you're misleading the public with your lies. You're shameless. Old man, are you out of your mind? It's Ben Huang who's chasing you now. Ben Huang can easily suppress you with 10% of his strength. You don't even dare to fight Ben Huang with 10% of his strength, and you're running away like a rat. After hearing Wang Mang's words, the Nanhua, old deity, stopped at the top of a mountain. Then he turned around and stared coldly at Wang Mang. Very well. I like to see how you're going to suppress me with 10% of your strength. Hearing this, Wang Mang couldn't help but laugh in his mind. It seemed that the old man had really lost his mind because of his anger. Thinking of this, Wang Mang sneered. Are you ready? Ben Huang is going to make his move. Ben Huang will use 10% of his strength. Don't say that Ben Huang bullied you, old man. Hearing this, the Nanhua, old deity, was very disdainful. Wang Mang could probably threaten his life if he used all his strength. But 10% of his strength was simply wishful thinking. Even if the Nanhua, old deity, was severely injured, a starving camel was still bigger than a horse. If Wang Mang dared to be so arrogant, he didn't even mind taking the opportunity to kill Wang Mang. Thinking of this, the Nanhua, old deity, said coldly, make your move. Let me see what you're capable of. Hearing this, Wang Mang began to gather a vast amount of lightning energy between his two horns. At the same time, Nanhua, old immortal's eyes were also attracted by Wang Mang. After a long while, Wang Mang finally unleashed the lightning energy that he had gathered. At the same time that he used the power of lightning, Wang Mang quietly used his divine ability. They were King's Thrall, soul-controlling seal. In the next moment, the originally tense Nanhua, old immortal, suddenly frowned, and a trace of pain flashed across his old face. Clearly, this was the effect of Wang Mang's king's slavery and the soul-controlling seal's mental god art. However, these two psychic abilities didn't do much harm to the Nanhua, old deity, even though he was heavily injured. However, Wang Mang didn't expect to kill Nanhua, old immortal, with the king's thrall and the soul-controlling seal. As long as Nanhua, old immortal, couldn't dodge in time, his lightning dharma spell would be enough. Also, Wang Mang said that he would only use 10% of his power, but he was secretly gathering all of his power. Because of that, the power of the lightning that surged forth was like a lightning dragon. Its might was enormous as it swept forth. Nanhua, old immortal's face changed drastically. He had just formed a true chi shield when the terrifying lightning energy arrived. Rumble. Following an earth-shattering explosion, Chi Nan's figure flickered. Nanhua, old immortal, was drowned by the terrifying lightning energy. After the smoke and dust dissipated, Yi Zichen said, Wang Mang saw Nanhua, old immortal, with disheveled hair and blood dripping from the corner of his mouth. His face was twisted with anger. That's 10% of your power? You didn't keep your word. Shameless bastard. Hearing this, Wang Mang sneered. Ben Huang only used 10% of his power. Believe it or not, it's fine as long as I believe it. After that, Wang Mang didn't give Nanhua Old Immortal any time to react. Under Nanhua Old Immortal's furious gaze, he spat out a mouthful of magma, shooting it out from his bloody mouth. Nanhua Old Immortal was about to dodge. Suddenly, he couldn't help but let out a scream. This was because Wang Mang had once again used the king's slavery, soul-controlling seal. These two divine powers. In a short time, they interfered with Nanhua Old Immortal's divine powers. At the same time, Nanhua Old Immortal tried his best to endure the splitting headache. He was in an extremely sorry state, barely managing to avoid the dangerous magma eruption. The next moment, the furious Nanhua Old Immortal was about to fight to the death. But when he looked up, he saw a sharp white bone whizzing towards him. The speed at which this snow-white, slender, and straight bone shot out was too fast. It was so fast that he didn't even have time to react or dodge it. Only a splashing sound could be heard. The long and sharp bone pierced through Nanhua Old Immortal's chest. Then, Nanhua Old Immortal realized what had happened. He looked down at the big hole in his chest and froze. Nanhua Old Immortal had never thought that he would end up like his disciple. His disciple's chest was also pierced through, and he died. But now, he was killed by the same method. Nanhua Old Immortal was very unwilling to accept this, especially when he felt the vitality in his body dissipating. At the same time, the true qi in his body was also spreading out. Then, the Nanhua Old Immortal suddenly raised his head and looked at Wang Mang with a face full of hatred and madness. Even if I die, I'll drag you down with me. Nanhua Old Immortal had already lost his heart, but he still shot out as fast as lightning. Seeing this, Wang Mang was shocked. He knew that Nanhua Old Immortal had gone crazy. Obviously, he wanted to drag Chun Fan down with him even before he died. Wang Mang didn't dare to hesitate at all. He flapped his four wings and shot into the sky. At the same time, Wang Mang also used one step in the heavens. His speed increased by 100 times. In the blink of an eye, Wang Mang was already hundreds of miles away. Wang Mang didn't forget to look back. The next moment, Wang Mang saw that in the distant space. Suddenly, a huge explosion of fire appeared. The scene of the explosion was like a small mushroom cloud. The true qi from the explosion swept across the surrounding area like a wave. It caused the color of the heavens and the earth to change along with it. Winds rose, clouds surged, and a tempest arose. Rumble. It was accompanied by an earth-shattering sound. At the location of the explosion, tens of miles of mountain range were instantly reduced to ashes. Wang Mang was dumbstruck by the terrifying might of the attack. In fact, Wang Mang even felt his heart palpitating. Oh my, Nanhua Old Immortal is too terrifying. He could even self-detonate before he died, and he wanted to drag Chun Fan down with him. Also, the power of his self-detonation was too strong. Dozens of miles of mountains were instantly turned into ashes. Just as Wang Mang's heart was filled with lingering fear and inwardly sighing, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. Mission completed. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 2 billion evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 1 top-quality blind box X1. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 1 random lottery ticket X1. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 1 random lottery ticket X1. Chapter 303. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang came back to his senses and could not help but burst with joy. Not bad. Not bad. Now he did not need to worry about the new template. This was because he only needed to select the lottery chance. Apart from this, Wang Mang's rewards were the random lottery, the top-quality blind box, and so on. However, Wang Mang wasn't sure if he would be able to evolve again with this small amount of things. This was because no matter how heaven-defying a top-quality blind box was, it could not give him tens of billions of evolution points. As for the random lottery chance, it was completely up to fate. If he was lucky, he would not get anything bad from the random lottery chance. But the uncertainty of this thing was too great. Thus, Wang Mang was not too optimistic. He knew that he wanted to evolve again. He needed to accumulate more good things. With this thought, Wang Mang made up his mind. He decided to go to the Nanhua Old Immortal's nest to take a look. He wanted to see if he missed anything. If not, there was no point in staying in the Changbai Mountains. Thinking about this, Wang Mang moved and instantly arrived at the place where the Nanhua Old Immortal had self-destructed. Wang Mang felt extremely helpless as he looked at the ruins within a radius of several dozen li. It seems that the Nanhua Old Immortal's corpse was destroyed. With that thought in mind, Wang Mang left the nearby mountain range and arrived near Changbai Mountain's Heavenly Lake. After arriving near the Heaven Lake, Wang Mang shrunk his body and entered the Nanhua Old Immortal's thatched hut. However, after entering, Wang Mang was dumbfounded. This was an extremely crude, thatched hut. There was nothing good inside. There were no natural treasures. There were no cultivation methods or secret manuals. This made Wang Mang feel very disappointed. Damn, this is too poor. This is an old thing, an old monster, but did not leave anything good behind. Wang Mang felt that this was not possible. However, it was indeed as poor as a church mouse. There was only a bamboo bed, a wooden table, and a green lamp in the simple thatched hut. Mother of asterisk cur. This place was even cleaner than his dog's nest. Damn, that bastard Nanhua Old Immortal didn't leave any treasures behind. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt very depressed and angry. Originally, he thought that there would be some unexpected gains. In the end, Wang Mang was greatly disappointed. In his anger, Wang Mang left the straw hut. Then he transformed into his enormous body and destroyed the thatched hut. After destroying the thatched hut, Wang Mang felt much better. Just as Wang Mang was about to leave, Wang Mang suddenly saw the huge heavenly lake in front of him. After seeing the heavenly lake, Wang Mang seemed to have thought of something. If he was not mistaken, there was a beast dominator in the heavenly lake. Moreover, this beast dominator seemed to have a close relationship with Nanhua Old Immortal. Thinking of this, Wang Mang began to feel the aura in the heavenly lake carefully. Soon, Wang Mang felt it. Under the heavenly lake, there was a faint beast dominator aura. This meant that there was a problem. That was, the beast dominator turtle should still be in the heavenly lake. Thinking of this, Wang Mang transformed into his enormous body and dived into the heavenly lake. Accompanied by a loud noise, a wave dozens of meters high rose to the sky. The huge wave also began to ripple on the surface of the water. However, when Wang Mang dived into the water, he was surprised to find that the heavenly lake's water was not shallow. Some parts of the water were not deep, but some parts of the water were hundreds of meters deep. Moreover, Wang Mang did not swim for long before he found the Turtle Demon Emperor. In the distant water, a giant black turtle was looking at Wang Mang in the water. After seeing Wang Mang, the giant black turtle slowly said, "Fellow cultivator, what brings you here?" Obviously, he could feel the strong beast dominator aura on Wang Mang's body. This strong beast dominator aura. It was not something that a beginner beast dominator like him could compare with. Because of this, he did not dare to provoke Wang Mang. Otherwise, Wang Mang could really kill him. They were both beast dominators, but there was a gap in strength. For example, the Turtle Demon Emperor was a beginner beast dominator. If he was compared with Wang Mang, he was too weak. Therefore, the Turtle Demon Emperor did not dare to be presumptuous in front of Wang Mang. In the face of the Turtle Demon Emperor's question, Wang Mang said indifferently, "Nanhua Old Immortal is familiar with you, right?" Hearing this, the Ghost Demon Emperor was speechless. Not long ago, he knew that Wang Mang came to the Heavenly Lake in Changbai Mountain and provoked Nanhua Old Immortal. However, the strength of Wang Mang and Nanhua Old Immortal was not something he could interfere with. He was only a beast dominator with 6,100 years of cultivation. The gap between him and Wang Mang was like heaven and earth. Therefore, even if he found out about Wang Mang, he did not dare to show up. At the same time, Wang Mang's guess was right. His relationship with Nanhua Old Immortal was not ordinary. It could even be said that without Nanhua Old Immortal's help, he would never have become a beast dominator. Therefore, if he could help Nanhua Old Immortal, he would not hesitate. Unfortunately, Wang Mang's strength was too strong. After a long silence, the Turtle Demon Emperor said vaguely, "Yes, beast dominator, but our relationship is ordinary." After hearing this, Wang Mang sneered and said indifferently, "Really? Do you think Ben Huang is blind?" "Ben Huang, let me ask you one last time. Where is Nanhua Old Immortal's family? If you don't have it, Ben Huang can eat a beast dominator to make up for it." After saying that, Wang Mang looked at the Turtle Demon Emperor coldly. After hearing Wang Mang's words, the Turtle Demon Emperor secretly felt bitter. He did not expect Wang Mang to guess his relationship with Nanhua Old Immortal. Moreover, judging from Wang Mang's tone, he was obviously forcing him to tell him where Nanhua Old Immortal's lair was. Moreover, if he did not get anything, he was afraid that this guy would attack him. Not only that, the Turtle Demon Emperor could tell from Wang Mang's unscrupulous behavior. He knew that Nanhua Old Immortal was most likely dead. Thinking of this, the Turtle Demon Emperor said helplessly, "Beast Dominator, I know where Nanhua Old Immortal's lair is, but I don't know if there's anything left in the old lair of Nanhua Immortal." After hearing this, Wang Mang nodded with satisfaction and said indifferently, "Lead the way. Don't let Ben Huang down." The Turtle Demon Emperor nodded helplessly and said, "Sir, please follow me." After saying that, the Turtle Demon Emperor floated out of the water and walked toward the shore. At the same time, Wang Mang followed behind calmly. A few hours later, under the Turtle Demon Emperor's lead, Wang Mang came to a secluded forest near the Changbai mountain range. However, in Wang Mang's eyes, this mountain range was completely ordinary. It was not until the demonic Turtle Emperor brought him to a strange cave. However, when Wang Mang got close, he felt an inexplicable sense of uneasiness. This sense of uneasiness was very strange. How strange was it? Wang Mang could vaguely hear something in his ears. From the depths of the cave, there was a low and hoarse roar. This weak and terrifying roar. It also gave Wang Mang a creepy feeling. This made Wang Mang very puzzled. Is this really Nanhua Old Immortal's lair? At this time, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Detected the host's current situation. The host is given the following mission to choose from. Mission 1. Discover the netherworld gate that is about to be broken. Choose to ignore it. Mission time. Choose to obtain it. Mission reward. 1 billion evolution points. Advanced blind box, X1. Mission 2. Discover the netherworld gate that is about to be broken. Choose to take action and repair the netherworld gate. Mission time. Choose to obtain it. Mission reward. 2 billion evolution points. Best quality blind box, X1. Mission 3. Discover the netherworld gate that is about to be broken. Choose to take action and open the netherworld gate. Mission time. Choose to obtain it. Mission reward. 3 billion evolution points. Best quality blind box, X1. Random lottery, X1. Chapter 304. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang couldn't help but be stunned. He didn't expect that the depths of this cave was actually the gate of the netherworld. But what was this gate of the netherworld? Could it be the legendary netherworld? Did the legendary netherworld really exist? Then what was the legendary netherworld like? Could it be that this place really led to the netherworld? For a moment, Wang Mang's mind was full of doubts. At the same time, Wang Mang also began to have doubts about the Turtle Demon Emperor bringing him here. Could it be that this dog had ill intentions and wanted to kill him? After all, he came to the lair of the Nanhua Old Immortal. As a result, he was brought to the gate of the netherworld in the cave. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's cold snake eyes revealed a cold intent. However, Wang Mang still didn't alert the enemy, because since the Turtle Demon Emperor was leading the way, then he wasn't worried that the other party would escape. At the same time, Wang Mang also asked in his heart, "System, what is the gate of the netherworld? Could it be that the gate of the netherworld is the passage to the netherworld?" At this time, the system's voice sounded in his mind, frowny face, yes. Host, it can be understood as the netherworld left behind after the earth's immortals and gods disappeared. A few minutes later, Wang Mang finally figured it out. This so-called gate of the netherworld. This so-called gate of the netherworld. It was a netherworld that was sealed before the earth's immortals and gods disappeared. Because before the netherworld's immortals and gods left. In the netherworld, there were a large number of lonely souls and wild ghosts that were punished. Therefore, before the netherworld's immortals and gods left the earth, they completely sealed the exit of the netherworld. This was to prevent these lonely souls and wild ghosts in the netherworld from coming out to harm the human world. Even according to the system's explanation, there might not be any land immortals on earth, but there might not be any in the netherworld. Because there were too many lonely souls and wild ghosts sealed in the netherworld. It was very possible that a land immortal level ghost would be born. After learning the truth, Wang Mang couldn't help but inwardly gasp. He did not expect that the Turtle Demon Emperor would bring him to the entrance of the netherworld. He was trying to kill him. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's killing intent soared to the heavens. Because in Wang Mang's opinion, who knew how many demons and ghosts there were in the netherworld? Even if there weren't many earth immortals, they might still exist. In fact, there were probably existences that were close to the level of earth immortals. Therefore, there was no benefit to Wang Mang if he really wanted to open the gate of the netherworld. It could even be said that it would not benefit Wang Mang at all, and his current position would be impacted. After all, once these monsters came out, the world would probably be thrown into chaos. This was not what Wang Mang wanted to see. This was because the later Earth was in chaos. The better it would be for him. He would have more time to improve his strength. At this moment, Wang Mang discovered that he had quietly followed the Turtle Demon Emperor to the depths of the cave. However, this cave seemed to be very deep until they were close to the depths of the Changbai Mountain. Wang Mang saw that there was nothing in this vast cave. There was only a black stone door that seemed to be covered with cracks, which was unusually conspicuous. After seeing this stone door, Wang Mang secretly guessed in his heart. It was very likely that this was the legendary Netherworld Gate. At the same time, Wang Mang also quietly said in his heart, "System, I choose the first task." Yes, Wang Mang obviously chose to be a freeloader. He did not want to fill the gate of the netherworld, because he did not know how to repair the gate of the netherworld. In addition, he did not want to open the gate of the netherworld, which would not benefit him. Therefore, the first task was obviously the best choice. The next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. Task completed. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 1 billion evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained Advanced Blind Box X1. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang secretly nodded in satisfaction. At the same time, Wang Mang quietly stared at the demonic Turtle King vigilantly. At this time, the demonic Turtle King suddenly turned around and respectfully said to Wang Mang, "Demonic Turtle King, behind this door is the Nanhua Elder Deity's lair. However, if you want to obtain the treasures that the Nanhua Elder Deity has accumulated, you still need to open this stone door. Old Tortoise's strength is limited, so I cannot open this stone door. However, I believe that the demonic Turtle King's strength is enough to open it." Hearing this, Wang Mang could not help but laugh sinisterly. Do you really think that Ben Huang is that easy to fool? Is this really the Nanhua Elder Deity's lair? Hearing Wang Mang's chilling words, the demonic Turtle King's heart sank. He guessed that Wang Mang had most likely discovered that this place was not normal. Thinking of this, the demonic Turtle King's heart was filled with bitterness and unspeakable sorrow. However, he obviously would not admit it. He said firmly, "Demonic Turtle King, I am telling the truth. If the demonic Turtle King opens this stone door and does not find the treasures of the Nanhua Elder Deity, I am willing to die as an apology." Hearing this, Wang Mang sneered in his heart. At the same time, he had an indescribable feeling. He could vaguely tell that the demonic Turtle King was not afraid of death. Wang Mang could not help but sigh in his heart. At the same time, he was very confused. Does the demonic Turtle King want to die? Is he willing to sacrifice his life to avenge the Nanhua elder deity? Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but shake his head. He really did not know what to say. However, the relationship between the Nanhua elder deity and this tortoise made Wang Mang very envious. Because he did not know, if he died one day, would there be someone who would risk their life to avenge him? Perhaps there would not be anyone? Thinking of his own connections, Wang Mang could not help but smile bitterly in his heart. He had offended countless demonic turtles. It seemed that no one could be friends with him. It was as if the strong were destined to be lonely. It was as if the path of cultivation was destined to be invincible and lonely in the end. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said indifferently, "Demonic Turtle King, do you really not want to live anymore?" Hearing this, the demonic Turtle King's face changed drastically. He said with a terrified expression, "What do you mean, demonic Turtle King? Could it be that your lordship thinks that I'm lying to you?" While the demonic Turtle King was talking, Wang Mang immediately sensed that something was wrong. He could vaguely see the craziness in the demonic Turtle King's eyes. At the same time, Wang Mang also sensed that the demonic Turtle King's aura was rapidly expanding. It was exactly the same as the Nanhua elder deity who wanted to self-destruct. Seeing this, Wang Mang sneered. Then, he used his divine power without hesitation. Wishful Bone Spur. Chapter 305. In the next moment, two horns flew out from Wang Mang's head. The two sharp horns turned into a crescent moon. After circling in the air for a while, it suddenly shot out as fast as lightning. Swoosh! Swoosh! In just a moment, the two crescent moon-like horns pierced a huge hole through the Turtle Demon Emperor's hard tortoise shell. At the same time, the demonic Turtle Emperor, who was about to self-destruct, was stunned. He lowered his head and looked at the big hole in the turtle shell with a touch of human-like loneliness in his eyes. At the same time, the demonic chi that had gathered around him began to fade along with his vitality. Obviously, the demonic Turtle Emperor, who had been hit by Wang Mang's sure-kill divine ability, the Wishful Bone Spur, would definitely die. It was the same for Nanhua Old Deity and Lucio. Because of this, Wang Mang was not worried that the demonic Turtle Emperor would self-destruct. If Nanhua Old Deity wanted to self-destruct, Wang Mang would not be able to stop him. However, if the demonic Turtle Emperor wanted to self-destruct in front of Wang Mang, he was not qualified to do so. That was because Wang Mang's strength was much stronger than the Turtle Demon Emperor's. Therefore, the demonic Turtle Emperor wanted to self-destruct in front of Wang Mang. It was simply wishful thinking. In addition, Wang Mang also noticed that the demonic Turtle Emperor was losing his vitality and was about to die. However, Wang Mang could not help but ask in a puzzled tone, "Demonic Turtle Emperor, why are you doing this? Be a good boy and tell me where Nanhua Old Immortal's lair is. I will not kill you." Moreover, Nanhua Old Deity has already died in Benhuang's hands. Why are you courting your own destruction like a moth to a flame? After hearing Wang Mang's words, the demonic Turtle Emperor raised his head with difficulty and looked at Wang Mang with a complicated expression. "Sigh, you won't understand. Forget it. I can't do anything to avenge Nanhua Old Immortal." At this point, the Turtle Demon Emperor was silent for a moment. Then his old voice sounded again. "Since you want to know, then I might as well tell you. Before the old tortoise opened its spirit, it was killed by a crane demon. At the critical moment, it was Nanhua Old Immortal who saved me. He helped me open my spirit and allowed me to cultivate. He raised me like a pet for almost 6,000 years. I've followed him for 6,000 years. Now that he's gone, there's no need for me to live anymore. My only regret is that I can't avenge the Old Immortal and repay his 6,000 years of kindness at this point. the turtle demon emperor's weak voice suddenly stopped. Then his body crashed to the ground and lost all signs of life. At the same time, after listening to the story, Wang Mang finally understood. Why was the turtle demon emperor so loyal to the Nanhua old immortal? At the same time, Wang Mang was deeply moved. He did not expect that the demonic turtle emperor had followed the Nanhua old deity for 6,000 years. After such a long time, their friendship was self-evident. No wonder the old tortoise still did this, even though he knew he was going to die. Although he admired the old tortoise's loyalty. But Wang Mang's sadness came and went quickly. He would not let go of an enemy who wanted to harm him for any reason. Then, Wang Mang opened his bloody mouth and swallowed the demonic turtle emperor. The next moment, the system's voice sounded again. Ding! Congratulations, host! Devoured 6,100 years of demonic turtle emperor. Ding! Congratulations, host! Gained 350 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. Then, Wang Mang prepared to go home. After all, he did not gain anything from this trip to the Nanhua Old Immortal's cave residence. It was time to go back. At least, it was meaningless for Wang Mang to stay here. But just as Wang Mang was about to leave, a cold voice came from the gate of the Netherworld. Fellow cultivator, can you open this gate? You will be greatly rewarded after this matter is completed. After hearing the cold voice, Wang Mang was stunned at first. Then he suddenly raised his head and looked at the gate of the Netherworld. He could clearly sense that the voice was coming from the gate of the Netherworld. After hearing the voice, Wang Mang stopped and said coldly, You want Ben Huang to let you out, right? As for the benefits, what can you give Ben Huang? At this moment, the cold voice came again. A half-immortal treasure of heaven and earth. After hearing the voice, Wang Mang could not help but gasp. He did not expect the Netherworld to be so rich. Damn it, the first thing it said was a half-immortal treasure of heaven and earth. A half-immortal treasure of heaven and earth. It could be said that if he obtained a half-immortal treasure of heaven and earth, Wang Mang could evolve again. However, they wanted him to let them out just because of this little benefit. This obviously could not move Wang Mang. After all, he was not such a person. Moreover, after Wang Mang weighed the pros and cons, he finally resisted the temptation. It was impossible for him to compromise. A half-immortal treasure of heaven and earth. Don't try to move him. At this thought, Wang Mang endured the pain in his heart and coldly said with a righteous tone, Just a half-immortal treasure of heaven and earth, and you want Ben Huang to let you out? Do you think Ben Huang is a kind of demon who forgets righteousness at the sight of profit? Moreover, if he lets you out, you will definitely bring disaster to the world. Although Ben Huang wants a half-immortal treasure of heaven and earth, Ben Huang will not agree to it. After saying that, Wang Mang was ready to leave, because he was afraid that he would really be unable to resist the temptation and choose to compromise. At this moment, the cold voice rang out again. If you are not satisfied with the benefits, you can mention it again. 3 half-immortal treasures of heaven and earth. What do you think? If you can open this door, we will definitely give you 3 half-immortal treasures of heaven and earth as a reward. Also, opening the stone door is not a difficult task for you, fellow Taoist. Hearing this, Wang Mang's body trembled, and he almost couldn't help but agree on the spot. However, after struggling for a long time, Wang Mang decided to give up, because in this netherworld, it was very likely that there were Earth immortals. If they were released, the impact on Wang Mang would be too great. Thinking of this, Wang Mang roared angrily. Ben Huang said, Ben Huang is not such a demon. Do you really think that just 3 half-immortal treasures of heaven and earth can make Ben Huang let you out? After shouting these words, Wang Mang felt as if he had used up all his strength. At the same time, he felt extremely sad in his heart, as if he had missed the love of his life. Just as Wang Mang made up his mind to leave, in the Netherworld gate, the cold voice sounded again. 10 half-immortal treasures of heaven and earth. Chapter 306. Wang Mang, who was about to leave decisively. When they heard this cold voice, they were shocked. Wang Mang's heart couldn't help but tremble violently. Never had he imagined that the Nether Hell would actually be so wealthy. These were 10 half-immortal level heavenly treasures. If he could get 10 half-immortal level heavenly treasures, then to what extent could his strength increase? Wang Mang felt that he was probably not far from the level of 8,000 years of cultivation. Just thinking about it, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel a little excited. In fact, there seemed to be a voice in his mind saying to him, "Let them go. Let them out. If you let them go, you could get 10 half-immortal level heavenly treasures. If you let them go, your strength will soar and become a more powerful demon emperor." This voice seemed to be constantly persuading Wang Mang in his mind. Wang Mang knew that this was his greed. This was also his instinct. However, Wang Mang quickly calmed down. First of all, these 10 half-immortal level heavenly treasures were indeed very tempting. However, Wang Mang felt that these 10 half-immortal level heavenly treasures might not be so easy to get, because once the Netherworld Gate was opened, the demons and ghosts in the Nether Hell would run out. At that time, what if these demons and ghosts didn't admit it? What if the powerful demons and ghosts didn't keep their promises? After all, Wang Mang himself didn't like to keep his promises. He often didn't keep his promises. It was normal for him to have such a guess, because it was completely possible. After thinking for a long time, Wang Mang wanted to give up, but he couldn't bear to. However, Wang Mang wanted to agree, but he was afraid that these guys wouldn't keep their promises. Therefore, the more Wang Mang thought about it, the more tangled he became. He even fell into a struggle. At this time, the existence in the Netherworld Gate had already guessed Wang Mang's mood. The cold voice sounded again. "Fellow cultivator, what are you still hesitating for? 10 half-immortal level heavenly treasures. With 10 quasi-immortal grade heavenly treasures, to what extent will your strength soar? Furthermore, as long as you can open this stone door, we will definitely help you become a land immortal. In fact, you can even become an immortal god of a region." Hearing this, Wang Mang couldn't help but be stunned. Could these fellows help him become an immortal? Confused, Wang Mang immediately asked, "How are you going to help Ben Huang become an immortal?" At this moment, another gloomy voice sounded from the Netherworld Gate. "There are no more immortals on the continent. That's because the immortals on land have all left. At the same time, these immortals also took away the immortal medallion of the immortal profession that was revered by heaven and earth. Divine Duty Spirit Tablet. Therefore, immortals and gods are no longer allowed to exist on land." But here, we have the underworld profession underworld token that is revered by the heavens and earth. After hearing this cold and gloomy voice, Wang Mang became even more confused. He had no idea what the immortal badge, spirit badge, and underworld badge were. What the hell was this thing? Could it be that it was just a badge? Curious and puzzled, Wang Mang hurriedly asked in his heart, "System, this is the so-called immortal badge, spirit badge, and underworld badge that are revered by the heavens and earth. What exactly are they?" At this moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-face reminder, "Host, the so-called immortal badge, spirit badge, and underworld badge are a few minutes later." After the system's explanation, Wang Mang finally understood. What were the immortal badge, spirit badge, and underworld badge? This thing was like an ID card. However, this immortal badge symbolized the identity of an immortal. For example, Wang Mang had an underworld emperor badge. In that case, Wang Mang would be able to establish a proper underworld in this world. Moreover, it would be the legitimate identity of this world, the true underworld emperor. This was the recognition of the will of the heavens and earth, the respect of all things in this world. At that time, not only would the heavens and earth not ostracize him, but they would also receive the favor of the heavens and earth. Therefore, the so-called immortal badge, spirit badge, and underworld badge were very important. There were only two ways to become a true land immortal. One was to ascend to a higher, more powerful, and vast world. The other was to obtain the recognition of the heavens and earth in this world and have an identity badge. Of course, there were no more immortal badges or spirit badges on Earth. As for why, it was indeed as the existence in the Netherworld Gate had explained. The immortals on Earth had taken their identity badges with them before they left. After that, the Earth gradually entered an era of spiritual energy exhaustion. This led to the fact that there were no land immortals on Earth. However, Wang Mang didn't know if there were any underworld badges in the Netherworld. This was because one didn't have to have an immortal badge, spirit badge, or underworld badge to become a land immortal. Even if one didn't have these three badges, they could still become a land immortal. However, even if one became a land immortal, they wouldn't be recognized by the heavens and earth. However, if one had such a badge, it would be much easier to become a land immortal. This was because the heavens and earth would help all the experts who had badges. At this moment, the cold voice sounded again. "Fellow Taoist, what do you think?" Hearing this, Wang Mang came back to his senses and became even more conflicted. At this moment, Wang Mang suddenly thought of something and couldn't help but say, "How about this? You guys give Ben Huang the half-immortal treasure of heaven and earth first. Ben Huang will believe that what you said is true. When the time comes, he will help you break open the stone door." After hearing Wang Mang's words, there was a long silence in the Netherworld Gate. After a long time, a cold voice sounded. "Fellow Taoist, being able to send our voices out of this stone door is already the best way. If we could send out the half-immortal treasure of heaven and earth, we wouldn't have been trapped for so long." After hearing this, Wang Mang immediately felt a little disappointed and regretful. He knew that these guys might not be lying. If they could really get their hands on the half-immortal treasure of heaven and earth, most likely, the demons and ghosts of the nether underworld had already broken free. But if that was the case, didn't that mean that he wouldn't get any benefits at all? This was because Wang Mang had never thought of letting them out. He had even been thinking of trying to trick them into getting their hands on the half-immortal treasure of heaven and earth. This was because once these guys were released, there would be too many uncontrollable factors. Chapter 307. If there wasn't, it would be fine if it was an Earth immortal level existence. But if there was, then it wouldn't be a good thing for Wang Mang. At that time, his strength and status in the Red Empire would probably be greatly affected. In that case, Wang Mang was also affected and affected by this. This wouldn't be of much benefit to him. Moreover, he wasn't sure if he could get these guys, the 10 half-immortal level heaven and earth treasures that he mentioned. Therefore, Wang Mang wasn't willing to take the risk. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's tone was filled with regret. "Since you can't give me the half-immortal heavenly treasure first, I'm afraid I can't help you." After saying that, Wang Mang prepared to leave without looking back. At this time, the existence in the Netherworld Gate was clearly a little anxious. The cold voice also became much more urgent. "Fellow Taoist, please stop. Fellow Taoist, as long as you open this stone door, we will definitely hand over the 10 half-immortal level heaven and earth treasures. Fellow Taoist, there's no need to doubt. Among us, there are even earth immortals." Unfortunately, in the face of this cold voice, Wang Mang was still unmoved and walked out of the cave. This also caused the voice in the Netherworld Gate to become somewhat flustered and exasperated. "Fellow Taoist, it's clearly just a matter of convenience. Why aren't you willing to help? Damn it, bastard. When we get out, we will definitely tear you into pieces." At the end of his sentence, the voice completely turned into an angry roar, like a malicious spirit. Hearing this, Wang Mang immediately sneered. "All right, Ben Wang will wait for you to come out. But for the time being, don't even think about it." After saying that, Wang Mang left the cave. Not only that, after Wang Mang left the cave, Wang Mang even blocked the entrance of the cave. Wang Mang wouldn't be in such a bad mood if these bastards didn't say such harsh words. But Wang Mang didn't get any benefits and even dared to say such harsh words to him. This naturally infuriated Wang Mang so much that he even blocked the entrance of the cave. As a result, it was difficult for many demon clans to come here by chance. This was because Wang Mang had left his powerful demon royal aura in the vicinity. As long as one's strength did not surpass Wang Mang's, one would not easily get involved. After doing all this, Wang Mang felt much better. How dare he threaten him? Did they think that he, Wang Mang, was a demon that could be easily bullied? He was simply looking down on a demon emperor like him. After complaining for a while, only then did Wang Mang transform into his true form. Flapping his 4 wings, he soared into the clouds and left. 2 hours later, Wang Mang had already returned to his lair. After returning to the cave residence, Wang Mang instructed the tiger demon to look after the cave residents. Then, Wang Mang, who had returned to the cave residence, began to try and see if he could continue to improve his strength. This was because he had accumulated a lot of good things later on. Of course, Wang Mang didn't know how much he had accumulated. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said in his heart happily, "System, open my personal information." The next moment, personal information appeared in front of him. Host, Wang Mang. Type, 4-winged bull flame python limit. Cultivation, 7,200 years, demon royal level. Body shape, 200 meters long, 9 meters wide, 2 million kilograms weight. Combat strength, 2 million kilograms. Bite force, 129 kilometers per hour. Skills, corrosive poison, body of steel, super self-healing, water breathing, bloodthirsty rage, 10,000 beast deterrence, wishful shrinking. Divine ability, king's slavery, soul control seal, broken body rebirth, mysterious water domain, heaven flight, earth escape, magma eruption, wishful bone spur, thunder incantation, 1 step in the world. Space, information detection, free chance to upgrade divine ability X1, expert cross-border projection summoning card X1, skill fusion card X1, designated lottery chance X1, random lottery chance X1, top quality blind box X1, advanced blind box X1. Shopping center, activated. Luck, 88, dragon among snakes. Evolution points, 5, 6 billion / 15 billion. Current ranking, 68th in the world. After looking at his personal information, Wang Mang's eyes couldn't help but light up. He realized that his accumulation this time, it might be enough for him to evolve again. This was because he already had more than 5 billion evolution points. He also had a top-quality blind box, advanced blind box, and random lottery. These 3 things shouldn't be hard to gather 10 billion evolution points, right? As for the designated lottery chance, Wang Mang obviously wanted to use it to create a new template. Thinking of this, Wang Mang decided, let's create a new template first. After creating a new template, he would open other things to see if he could evolve again. Thinking of this, Wang Mang silently said in his heart, "System, use the designated lottery chance. Designated template lottery direction." The next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced. "Congratulations, host. Successfully used the designated lottery chance." Subsequently, a huge lucky compass appeared in Wang Mang's mind. But when he saw the prizes on the lucky compass, Wang Mang couldn't help but laugh. That was because the 9 prizes were as follows: frowny face template, 9-headed hell python, template, 9-headed 8-winged python, template, 9 tribulation sky covering python, template, 9-colored sky swallowing python, template, 8-winged black demon dragon, template, immemorial void dragon, template, 6-winged 3-headed python, template, 4-winged flood dragon, template, 9-headed emperor python. Seeing these 9 prizes, to be honest, it was hard for Wang Mang not to be happy. This was because the 9 prizes this time were all templates. In other words, if he opened it casually, it would give him a template. Moreover, judging from the names, the quality of the templates this time seemed to be very high. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but get excited. At the same time, He was looking forward to it. What kind of new template would he get this time? Wang Mang was looking forward to it. The lucky compass also began to spin. At the same time, Wang Mang also began to feel nervous. 1 minute later, the spinning speed of the lucky compass slowed down. Subsequently, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced ding. Congratulations, host. You've got Chapter 308. Just as the system's voice was about to sound, Wang Mang couldn't help but hold his breath. At the same time, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained six-winged, three-headed python. Six-winged, three-headed python. A giant python that lives in a fantasy world. It can reach a maximum length of 250 meters. Note, it has 3 heads and 6 wings. As long as all 3 heads are not destroyed, it is difficult to kill. The other 2 heads and 8 wings can extend and retract freely. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtain the divine ability of the template, Destructive Fire Sea. Note, after using the divine ability, it can cause large-scale destruction. There are many ways to shoot out flames, and it is difficult to extinguish them. Everything in its path will be destroyed. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtain the divine ability of the template, Eternal Frost. Note, after using the divine ability, it can cause a 1-mile radius to turn into a world of ice and snow. There are many ways to use it, and it can freeze targets in a large area into ice sculptures. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtain the divine ability of the template, Destructive Laser. Note, after using the divine ability, the destructive laser will destroy everything in its path. There are many ways to use it, and there is no distance limit. It can destroy most targets. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtain the divine ability of the template, Fly in the Sky and Burrow into the Ground. Note, after using the divine ability, it can fly in the sky and burrow into the ground. There is nothing it can't do. Ding! Host, do you want to change the template? After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned for a while before he came back to his senses. He didn't expect to obtain the 6-winged, 3-headed python. Moreover, this template was also very awesome. Looking at the situation, it was obviously going to defy the heavens. 3 heads. The other 2 heads could extend and retract freely. Moreover, it had 6 wings. It could also extend and retract freely. If it was a battle, the scene would be unimaginable. Imagine having 3 heads and using 3 divine abilities at the same time. It was simply going to defy the heavens and kill all gods and Buddhas in their way. Moreover, with 6 wings at once, how fast could his speed become? He was afraid that his speed would increase by a large margin. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but get excited. With this thought, Wang Mang said without the slightest hesitation, "System, change the template." The next moment, Wang Mang immediately felt as if something was being pulled out of his body. At the same time, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully changed the template. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully extracted the divine ability of the original template. Ding! Congratulations, host. Divine ability successfully extracted. Magma eruption. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully extracted divine ability. Heaven flight and earth escape. Ding! Detected host ability. Mystic water heavy domain. Conflicts with template. Automatically removed. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully extracted divine ability. Mystic water heavy domain. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtain compensation. Got ability lottery chance X1. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang stared blankly for a while before he understood. These 2 divine abilities came with their own divine abilities. The other one was basically useless. It could be said that these 3 divine abilities were not very useful to Wang Mang. Moreover, the divine ability of a new template was obviously more awesome. It even had the destructive laser divine ability. Just from the name, one could tell that it was very awesome. To be honest, Wang Mang even wished that he could find a strong person to fight right now. In addition, the system stripped the divine ability, Mystic Water Heavy Domain. He also received an additional divine ability lottery chance as compensation. Very good. This evolution of the template helped him strip out a rubbish divine ability. That was very good. But what made Wang Mang feel helpless was that the changes to his body did not seem to be big. What about his other 2 heads? What about his 6 wings? Just as Wang Mang was feeling puzzled, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Warm reminder to the host. This time, the template will be changed after the evolution. After this evolution, the host's appearance will become the appearance of the new template. After listening to the system's explanation, Wang Mang suddenly felt a little helpless. Didn't this mean that he had to evolve again before he could see the new appearance? However, after thinking about the evolution points he had accumulated, Wang Mang suddenly felt that it was possible for him to evolve again. After all, he had accumulated a lot of evolution points. In addition to the other blind boxes, lottery chances, and so on, he should be able to accumulate enough points to evolve once. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was in a good mood and decided to continue opening the blind boxes to evolve again. The only thing that made Wang Mang feel conflicted was, should he open the advanced blind box, or the best quality blind box, or should he try the random lottery first? After struggling for a while, in the end, Wang Mang decided to open a high-level blind box first. As for the other good things, he would take it slow. Anyway, he had not accumulated enough evolution points. He would continue to open other things slowly. Thinking of this, Wang Mang silently said in his heart, System, open the advanced blind box. The next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have successfully opened the advanced blind box. Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have obtained 200 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang immediately felt bad. The opening was only 200 million evolution points. What kind of good omen was this? Thinking of this, Wang Mang began to feel a bit apprehensive. He was afraid that the advanced blind box would be a waste. At that time, he would really want to cry. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the second time. Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have obtained 200 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice again, Wang Mang was completely flustered. 200 million evolution points 2 times in a row. This small amount of evolution points was not of much use to Wang Mang. After all, he was constantly evolving, and it was over 10 billion evolution points. Daddy System, I beg you to give me more. I can't even afford to eat anymore. Wang Mang nervously prayed. 1 minute later, the system's voice sounded for the 3rd time. Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have obtained 1 billion evolution points. After hearing the system's reward this time, Wang Mang could not help but secretly sigh in relief. Finally, there was a good reward. He hoped that the next reward would not disappoint him. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the 4th time. Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have obtained 2 billion evolution points. Aha! Good. Awesome. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang could not help but become excited. This advanced blind box was already a profit. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the 5th time. Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have obtained. Chapter 309. Soon after, the system's voice resounded for the 5th time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. You have obtained an exquisite Barbie doll. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was speechless. Fuck, what's the use of giving me a Barbie doll? I'm not a child, so why give me this toy? However, he thought about how the advanced blind box had already given him 3 billion evolution points. Wang Mang felt a lot better. This advanced blind box was not bad. It was definitely worth it. Moreover, if Wang Mang did not guess incorrectly, he was still short of evolution points. He should only have 6 billion evolution points left. Thinking about this, Wang Meng's mood became better. He did not believe that he still had a top-quality blind box and a random lottery. Could it be that he still could not gather enough evolution points? Thinking about this, Wang Meng said in his heart, "System, open the top-quality blind box." In the next moment, the system's voice resounded again, frowny-faced Ding. "Congratulations, host. Successfully opened the top-quality blind box." Ding. "Congratulations, host. You have obtained 1 billion evolution points." Not bad, not bad. This is what a top-quality blind box should look like. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Meng could not help but be overjoyed. The system had given him 1 billion evolution points. This meant that Wang Meng's evolution points had already reached 10 billion. Now, he only needed 5 billion evolution points before he could evolve again. However, Wang Meng had only opened the lottery once. Moreover, the top-quality blind box was so awesome. Who knows, the reward might even be enough after opening the box. Wang Meng was in a good mood. The system's voice resounded for the second time, frowny-faced Ding. "Congratulations, host. You have obtained 5 billion evolution points." "Oh, not bad, not bad." Hearing the system give out another reward, Wang Meng nodded in satisfaction. This was the top-quality blind box that he remembered. The trash top-quality blind box that he opened last time was definitely an accident. At this time, the system's voice resounded for the third time, frowny-faced Ding. "Congratulations, host. You have obtained the mysterious level secret scripture, 9 Sutra. F*CK. Even a 9 Sutra was here? Was he trying to make him become Ouyang Feng? But the problem was, he was a F*King Snake. Did he need these secret manuals? He didn't need it at all. Wang Meng's current strength was completely incomparable to the strong people in the martial arts world. In fact, Wang Meng's current strength was comparable to that of an Earth Immortal. Therefore, this thing was useless to Wang Meng, and even his father might not be too willing to cultivate it. This was because Wang Meng's father was very picky now. Their cultivation resources were all king-level natural treasures. It could be said that she had been raised by Wang Meng to be picky about her tastes. She didn't like ordinary things at all. Just as Wang Meng was feeling depressed, the system's voice sounded for the fourth time, frowny-faced Ding. "Congratulations, host. Obtained 2 billion evolution points." After hearing the system's voice, Wang Meng was once again beaming with joy. He was in a great mood. Very good. This best quality blind box had already accumulated 5 billion evolution points for him. He hoped that this best quality blind box would continue to work hard. It would strive to directly give him the last few billion evolution points. Because if Wang Meng was not out of his expectations, he should still need 5 billion evolution points to evolve. And now there were 2 more chances to open the prize. This was completely enough. Just as Wang Meng was happily fantasizing in his heart, the system's voice sounded for the 5th time, frowny-faced Ding. "Congratulations, host. Obtain a luxurious coffin made of pure gold. F*CK. F*CK. The coffin is here. What does this mean? Is this cursing me? Don't care if it's gold or not. The problem is that I will never use it." Thinking of this, Wang Meng was extremely depressed. The things that came out of this best quality blind box were really the best quality. Even the coffin was the best quality of the best quality. Sigh. System, I beg you, be a human. Give me some stuff from the human world. I don't need these things from the underworld. At this moment, Wang Meng crazily ridiculed in his heart. 1 minute later, the system's voice sounded for the 6th time, frowny-faced Ding. "Congratulations, host. Obtained 1 billion evolution points." After listening to the system's voice, Wang Meng was speechless again. Damn, I'm just short of 500 million evolution points. Can it give me more? At the same time, Wang Meng also knew that he needed to evolve again. It must be a random lottery. Otherwise, the last 500 million evolution points will be difficult for him to obtain. Thinking of this, Wang Meng was puzzled, but there was nothing he could do. After all, this best quality blind box was quite impressive. Many evolution points were given to him one after another. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's mood became a lot better. Then, he silently said in his heart, "System, use the random lottery." In the next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced ding. "Congratulations, host. You have successfully used the random lottery." Then, a lucky compass appeared in Wang Mang's mind. However, when he saw the prizes on the lucky compass, Wang Mang could not help but become excited. This was because the 9 prizes were frowny-face 19, 99 billion evolution points, 188, 8 billion evolution points, 12, 2 billion evolution points, 11, 1 billion evolution points, 10 billion evolution points, top grade world card X1, best quality blind box X9, divine treasure chest X1. You can choose any 3 of the prizes. This was also the reason why Wang Mang was so excited after seeing the prizes. This was because among the 9 prizes, there were at least 10 billion evolution points. It was probably because he had not used the random lottery for too long. Thus, he finally managed to use the random lottery and get some good stuff. Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but become happy. This was because even if he closed his eyes, he would still be able to win any prize. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was very happy. At the same time, he began to look forward to the next random lottery. At this time, the lucky compass began to quickly spin. 1 minute later, the lucky compass's spinning speed began to slow down. At the same time, Wang Mang was extremely nervous. He had not asked for much. Just give him 100 billion evolution points. Regardless of whether it was 188, 8 billion evolution points, or 199, 9 billion evolution points. Just give him one of the 2, since he was not picky. If there was no other way, just give him a divine treasure chest. This thing's name was very awesome. Just as Wang Mang was fantasizing, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced ding. "Congratulations, host. Obtain one." Chapter 310. The system's voice sounded frowny-faced ding. "Congratulations, host. You've gained 11, 1 billion evolution points." Ding. The accumulation has met the evolution conditions. Do you want to start evolution? No. Damn it. Can't you be more generous? After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang was speechless, although he had expected it. But he really got more than 10 billion evolution points. Wang Mang was still a little unhappy in his heart. After all, he was the one who got the prize this time. It could be said to be the second last. Damn it. It was a familiar routine and a familiar prize. It was always the same. It had never disappointed him. Thinking of this, Wang Mang didn't know how to complain. Forget it. He had accumulated enough now. Let's evolve first. After muttering for a while, Wang Mang then said in his heart, "System, start evolution." The next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced ding. 15 billion evolution points have been successfully deducted. Beginning evolution. Warm reminder, after this evolution, there will be changes to the data. After that, Wang Mang completely lost consciousness in the midst of evolution. 2 hours later, Wang Mang woke up from the evolution once again. After waking up, Wang Mang immediately observed his body. First of all, Wang Mang was surprised to find that his body had indeed changed a lot. In the past, his body was as red as magma. Now, it had turned back to pitch black. It was worth mentioning that his 2 horns actually didn't disappear. Similarly, his other aspects had improved as well. Other than that, his body was much thicker than before. Obviously, the evolution this time had changed the width of his body. Of course, Wang Mang didn't know how big the change was. Therefore, Wang Mang said in his heart, "System, open my personal information." The next moment, personal information appeared in front of him. Host, Wang Mang. Type, 6-winged, 3-headed python adult. Cultivation, 7,300 years, Demon Emperor level. Body shape, 204 meters long, 7 meters wide, 5 million kilograms weight. Battle strength, 1, 5 million kilograms bite force, 130 kilometers per hour. Skills: corrosive poison, steel body, super self-healing, water breathing, bloodthirsty rage, 10,000 beast deterrence, wishful shrinking. Divine ability: king's slavery, soul control seal, broken body rebirth, destructive laser, sea of flames, eternal frost, heaven escape, wishful bone, thunder spell, one step. Space: information detection, free chance to upgrade God Art X1, cross-realm projection summoning card X1, skill fusion card X1, God Art Lucky Draw card X1. Shop: activated luck, 88, dragon among snakes, evolution value, 11. 6 billion/16 billion. Current ranking, 66th in the world. After looking at his personal information, Wang Mang was amazed. He didn't expect his width to increase by 0.7 meters this time. Other than that, his weight also increased by hundreds of thousands of kilograms. It could be said that the evolution change this time was much bigger than before. Of course, Wang Mang wasn't most curious about this. On the contrary, Wang Mang wanted to see his other two heads. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said in his heart. The next moment, Wang Mang felt two huge heads growing out from his body. At this moment, Wang Mang looked at himself and felt speechless, because after having 3 heads, Wang Mang could clearly see every part of his body. Moreover, these 2 heads didn't just grow 2 more heads at once. The 2 extra heads were like tree branches that extended from the upper half of the body. The 3 heads all had their own upper bodies, and their appearance looked very domineering. Because Wang Mang's 3 heads, only the head in the middle had 2 sharp horns. The other 2 heads didn't have the sharp horns from before. The other 2 heads were different from the original head in the middle. The 3 heads were like the word mountain. It gave people a sinister and terrifying feeling. At the same time, Wang Mang also made a surprising discovery. When the other 2 heads grew out, he could look in 3 different directions, and his field of vision was also much wider. In this state, Wang Mang really didn't know who could sneak attack him from behind. So cool. Damn it. I have 3 heads now. In the future, no one can sneak attack me. Only I can sneak attack others. Moreover, when I fight in the future, I have 2 more heads, and my fighting power will increase by a lot. Wang Mang thought proudly in his heart. At the same time, Wang Mang muttered in his heart. His other 2 heads disappeared. It was as if he could control them with ease, and it was even more convenient. In addition, after feeling proud, Wang Mang felt a little lonely, because his strength seemed to be at the top of the Red Empire again. Stone Emperor? That was nothing. He could easily kill him. Dog Emperor? Clown. Not worth mentioning. Who else? Who else could fight with him? There seemed to be no one in the Red Empire. Even a monster emperor that Wang Mang was familiar with couldn't fight with him. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was even more emotional. Invincible loneliness. At this moment, the tiger demon's voice suddenly came from outside the cave. Monster Emperor. The Red Empire's liaison requests an audience. Hearing this, Wang Mang was stunned for a moment, and then said, "Let them in." The next moment, 2 fully armed members walked in solemnly and respectfully. After seeing the 2 liaisons, Wang Mang asked indifferently, "Speak. Why are you looking for Ben Wang?" Hearing this, the young liaison said respectfully, "Monster Emperor, the great elder of the military world, sent a message. It is estimated that within half a month, a meteorite will fall on Earth." Hearing this, Wang Mang was stunned for a moment, and then asked in confusion, "Isn't it just a meteorite? What's wrong with it?" Hearing Wang Mang's casual words, the young liaison said bitterly, "Monster Emperor, there's something you don't know. This is not an ordinary meteorite. This is the size of a meteorite, and its surface area is at least 300 kilometers. If it falls on Earth, the entire Earth will be completely destroyed. By then, Earth will have been destroyed by the meteorite before the disaster even arrives." Chapter 311. Hearing the system's voice again, Wang Mang felt a wave of exhaustion. If he had the strength, he would have accepted this mission long ago. But the problem was, he really didn't have the strength. He couldn't just bite the bullet and do it, right? That was simply forcing him to do something he couldn't do. But the people of Red Empire had already made such a request. Wang Mang really couldn't continue to stay silent, although Wang Mang was indeed quite shameless. However, after careful consideration at this moment, he thought for a while. Wang Mang also knew that it was useless even if he escaped from Earth, because even if he could escape from Earth, it would be difficult for his family to escape death even if they escaped from Earth with him, because Wang Mang's parents and relatives couldn't possibly live in the universe or even high up in the sky. Wang Mang had indeed left the mortal world, but although his father had cultivated, he hadn't reached the point of leaving the mortal world. What was the point of leaving the mortal world? This was a division that Wang Mang came up with himself. Leaving the mortal world was an existence that wasn't far from being an immortal on land. For example, demon emperors could already survive in water, air, and even underground. They had completely gotten rid of most of the problems brought about by the environment. Such problems, indeed, didn't exist for demon emperors, but it still had a huge impact on ordinary demons, let alone ordinary people. It was precisely because of this consideration that Wang Mang completely gave up on the idea of freeloading, because even if he escaped, it wouldn't solve the problem. Sigh, looks like I really can't escape. Forget it. I have to solve the problem eventually. Besides, even if the sky falls, there should be tall people to hold it up. It's not just my problem. If you have the ability, then let's all die together. Wang Mang muttered in his heart for a while and made a decision. He didn't believe that all the strong people on Earth couldn't solve this problem. After all, his strength was only around the 60th place in the entire world's strong people ranking. In other words, there were more than 60 tall people above him. Thinking of this, Wang Mang gritted his teeth and made a decision. F*CK, I'll do it. Then he silently said in his heart, System, I choose Mission 3. The next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding. Congratulations, host. Mission selected successfully. Please complete the mission as soon as possible to receive the reward. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang felt an indescribable bitterness in his heart. He didn't feel very happy. This was because he didn't know how to complete the mission. Of course, that was what he thought. However, Wang Mang wouldn't say it out loud. Under the expectant gazes of the hundreds of people in front of him, Wang Mang sighed deeply. How about this? Ben Huang will do his best. Go and spread the news. It's best if all the land demon emperors in the world know about this. After all, Ben Huang's strength is not enough. We need everyone's strength. Also, this news must reach the oceanic race. The oceanic race has more experts than the oceanic race. They are much stronger than those on land. After hearing Wang Mang's order, the white-haired old man, who was the leader, said to him with deep respect, Don't worry, Lord Guardian Deity. We will definitely do this. We will also spread the news to all the empires in the world. Thank you, Lord Guardian Deity, for not giving up on us. I thank you on behalf of all the compatriots of the Red Empire. But, Lord Guardian Deity, in order to prevent the world from panicking and becoming chaotic, we can't spread the news to the ordinary people. Only after the disaster is solved, we will definitely not let Lord Guardian Deity be unknown. At that time, the whole world will sing praises of Lord Guardian Deity and be deeply grateful to you. Hearing this, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel speechless. The disaster hadn't been solved yet. There was no need to sing praises. For Wang Mang, solving the problem at hand was more important. Therefore, Wang Mang urged, You guys go quickly. Tell Ben Huang's words and the seriousness of the matter to all the demon emperors. I believe that after you tell them about the matter, these demon emperors won't just stand by and do nothing. This is not a matter of one person, but everyone's matter. After hearing Wang Mang's order, these old men got up one after another and left under the protection of fully armed soldiers. After the officials of the Red Empire left, Wang Mang still couldn't find a clue to solve the problem. What should we do? Moreover, after this meteorite incident is solved, the disaster will probably come soon. If this matter is solved, it'll be easy. By then, with the huge amount of rewards this time, it'll be great. Ben Huang's strength will definitely reach the peak. Even if the disaster comes, Ben Huang will still be at the top of the pyramid. Forget it. Let's not think so much. Let's think of a way to solve this problem first. With this thought, Wang Mang decided to go to the sea first. He planned to deal with the experts of the demon race in the sea. After all, most of the experts on the global powerhouse ranking should be in the sea. With this thought, Wang Mang gave a few instructions to his subordinates and set off impatiently. In the next moment, Wang Mang transformed into a huge body, and 6 wings emerged from his body. These 6 huge black flesh wings were much larger than the previous 4 wings. As Wang Mang stretched out his flesh wings and soared into the sky, the surrounding area was like a Category 12 typhoon. Afterwards, Wang Mang was like a black streak of light, quickly disappearing into the horizon. An hour later, as far as the eye could see above the boundless ocean, Wang Mang came to the sea area where the Sea Dragon King was. Then, after circling in the sky for a while, Wang Mang was just about to dive into the sea when he saw the figure of the super behemoth, the Sea Dragon King. Not only that, the Sea Dragon King obviously didn't recognize him and looked at him coldly, because the Sea Dragon King could sense it. The Demon Emperor aura emanating from Wang Mang was simply terrifying. Just in terms of cultivation, he was probably far above him. Because of this, the Sea Dragon King asked with hostility and vigilance, "Fellow Taoist, you're not from the sea race, are you? We have no grudges against each other. Why are you looking for me?" After hearing the Sea Dragon King's words, Wang Mang didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He didn't expect that the Sea Dragon King wouldn't recognize him after not seeing him for so long. However, after thinking about it seriously, Wang Mang felt relieved. Every time he evolved to a certain length, he would change his template. Every time he changed his template, his appearance would change drastically. Therefore, it was understandable that the Sea Dragon King didn't recognize him. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said helplessly, "Brother Sea Dragon King, don't you remember me? I'm Brother Giant Python. Some time ago, I was chased into the sea and asked for help." After hearing Wang Mang's words, the Sea Dragon King was stunned. After sizing up Wang Mang for a moment, he sneered. "I didn't know a land great demon king, Brother Giant Python, but it's not a demon emperor. A few months ago, it only had the strength of a great demon king. Do you really think I'm a fool? You still want to pretend to be my Brother Giant Python? It seems that you have an unspeakable conspiracy." Chapter 3:12. After hearing the Sea Dragon King's words, Wang Mang was completely dumbfounded, because he never expected that the Sea Dragon King would not believe him. However, when he thought about how his strength had soared in just a few months, it was like a rocket. Wang Mang could also understand why the Sea Dragon King thought that he was an imposter. After all, it had only been a few months. He had already surpassed the Great Monster King level and reached the Monster Emperor level, and a Monster Emperor with more than 7,000 years of cultivation. Who would believe him if he told others? To be honest, if another monster told him, Wang Mang probably wouldn't believe it either, because the leap in strength was too huge. Even if he ate heavenly materials and earthly treasures every day, his speed of improvement couldn't catch up to Wang Mang's. This was doubtful. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt helpless. Seeing the Sea Dragon King's vigilant look, Wang Mang could only patiently tell him what had happened back then. 10 minutes later, after listening to Wang Mang's explanation, the Sea Dragon King finally chose to believe Wang Mang. However, the Sea Dragon King still found it unbelievable. That was because the speed at which Wang Mang's strength rose was simply too fast. He still remembered the first time they met. Wang Mang's strength was very small. In front of him, he was like an ant. However, it had only been a few months since they last met, and Wang Mang's strength had actually soared to such an extent. He had surpassed the great monster king level, the monster emperor level, and reached the monster emperor level of 7,000 years. Isn't this too fantastical? At the same time, the Sea Dragon King was also very envious of Wang Mang, because anyone who knew about Wang Mang's speed of improvement would be envious. Moreover, the Sea Dragon King also wanted to know how Wang Mang had improved to such a level. However, the Sea Dragon King knew the ways of the world very well and didn't ask too much. Some things were best left unasked. After all, which monster emperor didn't have some secrets? Therefore, after confirming Wang Mang's identity, the Sea Dragon King was unusually enthusiastic about Wang Mang. This kind of enthusiasm was incomparable to the past. The former Dining Dragon King's enthusiasm towards Wang Mang was only so. Compared to the current level of enthusiasm, it was completely different. Of course, this was because Wang Mang's strength had increased. This was because Wang Mang's cultivation had already surpassed his. Most importantly, she had a close relationship with him. After all, he had helped Wang Mang before. The two of them did indeed have a deep foundation of friendship. Now that they were conversing, it was as if they were of the same generation. This was because Wang Mang was indeed much stronger than the Sea Dragon King. However, Wang Mang could not put on airs in front of the Sea Dragon King. He was here to ask for a favor. At this moment, the Sea Dragon King couldn't help but sigh. Brother Giant Python, I'm really envious of your strength. How long has it been? You've already reached such a level. Brother, with your aptitude, you would be a peerless genius even in the Demon Clan. The Sea Dragon King's inadvertent flattery. Wang Mang's heart was still abnormally comfortable. However, Wang Mang's pretentiousness depended on the person. Therefore, he smiled modestly, which was rare for him. Brother, you must be joking. I just had a little opportunity. By the way, brother, I'm here to discuss something important. Hearing this, the Sea Dragon King asked in surprise, with your strength, what could be difficult for you? If brother can help, I will definitely do my best. Wang Mang didn't waste any time and directly told him about the matter. After hearing this, the Sea Dragon King, who was originally relaxed, became solemn. Brother Giant Python, I can't make the decision on this matter, but I won't refuse. I'll go and tell our clan leader about this now. If it's possible, Brother Giant Python, come with me. In the face of the Sea Dragon King's invitation, Wang Mang had come for this matter, so he naturally nodded and agreed. Then, under the Sea Dragon King's lead, Wang Mang followed him to an extremely deep sea. After diving into the depths of the sea, Wang Mang discovered that there were a lot of sea dragons here. Obviously, these overlords of the sea lived together in groups of the same race. These sea dragons varied in strength, but Wang Mang couldn't be more shocked. This was because among the sea dragons he had seen so far, he had already met 5 or 6 Emperor-level ones. As he continued to dive into the water, he reached about 12,000 meters below the surface of this unfamiliar sea. Wang Mang saw a scene that made his scalp tingle. The Sea Dragon Kings here were all Emperor level. They had even reached the level of a 7,000-year Demon Emperor. If he counted seriously, Wang Mang had already seen more than 10 Sea Dragon Demon Emperors. This also made Wang Mang click his tongue. Was this the Overlord family of the sea? F***CK. The number of Demon Emperors was simply overwhelming. Wang Mang even suspected that. This was the number of Demon Emperors that the Sea Dragon royal family had. There were probably 20 or 30 of them, right? At this moment, Wang Mang and the Sea Dragon King drilled into a huge crack in the ground of the sea. After entering this huge crack in the ground, Wang Mang discovered that there was a different world inside. It was like a nest in an underground palace. There was no darkness at the bottom of the sea here. The vast environment was like a small world. However, as soon as Wang Mang entered, a terrifying behemoth appeared in the palace in the distance. When he saw this behemoth, Wang Mang couldn't help but gasp. F***CK. This body was at least 500 meters long. At first glance, it looked like a small mountain. Such a huge body made Wang Mang's scalp tingle. Wang Mang was like a sugar cane in front of him. Most importantly, his aura was too tyrannical. It could be said that even the Nanhua old immortal that Wang Mang encountered wasn't as terrifying as him. The only one who could suppress it in terms of aura was the Lord of Sacrifice that it had encountered on the isolated island. At this moment, the Sea Dragon King in front of Wang Mang said respectfully, "Father, I have something important to report." Hearing this, Wang Mang couldn't help but be shocked. He didn't expect that the Sea Dragon King was the son of this super huge sea dragon. Moreover, from the tone of his voice, the Sea Dragon King had a very high status in the clan than this terrifying big guy in front of him. It was very likely that he was the so-called Sea Dragon Patriarch. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but sigh. He didn't expect that the Sea Dragon King was actually a second-generation demon. His old colleague, Wang Mang, also quietly used information detection. In the next moment, the information of this super behemoth appeared before his eyes. Target: Sea Dragon Emperor. Cultivation experience: 8,900 years. Level: Peak of the Demon Emperor realm. Body shape: 513 meters long, 130 meters wide, 280,000 tons in weight. Superpower: Achievement: 21st on the Global Powerhouse ranking. Luck: 300. Heaven and Earth bless. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.